I feel personally, as a woman right now, with him speaking what he's saying, I just see as him just talking down as us as Black women, just talking negative about us in general. That's personally
Smooth,
how I feel in this conversation.
Smooth, you gotta let me get this.
With him.
I need the examples. I need where I spoke down.
Well,
because this is hold on, let her tell me. This is a major issue. Men say one thing, women hear something else. And I understand that, which I guess makes it my fault because I already know ahead of time, all they hear is I'm being attacked. Welcome to Chew the Fat. I am your host, Smooth, and today we have a few very special guests with us. We're going to talk about the state of dating and relationships and why they suck today. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do share this with someone who may also find value in the video. And of course, go ahead and drop that like. And as you know, on the Chew the Fat with Smooth show, we allow our guests to introduce themselves.
Hi, my name is Devonae. I'm 38. I'm originally from Jamaica and now reside in New York City.
NY City. What's up?
And my name is Krystle. I am 36 years old and I'm from North Jersey.
North Jersey. Okay. What's up, fam? This is Ayindei, formerly from the channel Authentic Alphas. We're in the process of rebranding the channel. We're going to be going in a slightly different direction with some different methods that are hopefully going to be far more effective. So subscribe to the channel. Again, that's Authentic Alphas. There's just a ton of knowledge over there, a lot of wisdom. It's a vault. There's a vault over there that's been sitting dormant and just waiting to be unlocked. So go check that out, guys. And like I said, also prepare for the new direction that we're going to be going in and the rebranding. It's going to be something definitely that's going to change the game.
Awesome. Okay, so young ladies, I don't care who goes first, but I would love to know what your relationship status is.
I'm single.
Same here. I'm single.
Both single. Okay, this is, would you say it's by choice?
For now, yes.
For now, okay. I want you to explain that. You definitely have some explaining to do. you said by choice, right? So that would mean to me that you would prefer to be single than to have a relationship.
Yeah, right now it's the guys that I'm running into, no.
So that doesn't sound by choice. That sounds by circumstance. We already got a contradiction. Okay, so look, if you say by choice, that means, if I were to say it, right? If I were to say by choice, then that means I really don't want any lady, but I would be lying my ass off to say I want to be alone, right? So one of the things that I would love for young ladies to understand is that maybe it's not by choice. And I think it's your mind frame. If you put that out there, if that's your energy that you're choosing to be single, then guess what? You're going to be single. That's like if I say, I'm choosing to be broke. Do you think I'm going to get into the money? Hell no, because I'm not going to have that discipline. I'm not going to be structured. I'm not going to put in that work because I'm telling myself that I choose to be broke. I've accepted it. So one thing that I want women to change their mind frame on is you don't choose to be single. You could simply say it's hard out here. Shit, I didn't put the work in. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm having trouble out here. I think that the first wave of problem solving, well, this is a fact, I think, is to identify the problem. So if you don't even identify it as an issue, then it's almost impossible for you to solve. So with that, I'd like to ask each of you first, and then we're going to Ayindei dig in, pause after that, because I want to know, what do you think the main issue behind that is? Why do you think that it's so difficult out here to find a suitable mate?
It's more the consistency, honesty, loyalty, trust. So it's a little different.
Those are all related to like the same damn thing. I feel like somebody cheated on you real bad. Is that what happened?
No.
No? Or you think that's what's out there?
That's what I'm running into. So yes.
Okay. So that's your dating experience. How about you?
been single, not by choice, but for the same reasons, the dating pool. Like,
The dating pool.
Yeah.
What's the number one issue with the dating pool?
Oh. One, it's like they all seem to be after the same thing.
Sex?
Yeah, basically.
Everybody trying to hit. How do you know that that's what they're doing?
The way the conversations are going.
Oh,
Yeah.
Show me. How they pull up in your DMs?
Dick pics.
Wait.
Yeah,
Off rip?
Dick.
All right. How many messages does it take before somebody sends you a DP?
Probably like 3.
3 within 3 messages?
You'll be
Sometime
surprised.
one
Ain't no
shot.
way. Ain't no way.
Sometimes
This is
one
what's
shot.
happening out here?
That's turtle
One
speed.
This is what's happening out here?
One
That's
shot.
turtle speed. You should start the
One
conversation with a dick.
Start the conversation. Ayindei,
No.
please explain. No,
One
hold on.
shot.
Able to start the
Let's,
conversation.
let's see if he sat. Let's see if this is satire.
No, man. No, you should definitely.
Start the conversation with a DP.
Guys, definitely start the conversation with a dick pic.
No.
Why? Please,
If that's what,
please offer
if
context.
that's what your head is at. So
No pun intended.
yeah, so what I'm noticing in the space, right, is the men and the women are complaining about the opposite sex doing things that they themselves do. They're accusing them of doing things that the opposite sex is doing, but they're also doing the same thing. So you just said that these guys, she said, well, you asked her, how does she tell that it's about sex? And she said, because of the way the conversation goes. Now, let me show you exactly what I'm talking about. Because men and women are so equivalent, but different. And that's where the confusion is. We keep being told that men and women are the same and they're equal. No, they're different, but their differences are equal. They weigh up the same. Women refuse to pass up all of this free attention that's coming from outside guys. They won't give it up on social media. You ask women, they'll tell you they're not going to give up their social media for a guy. The attention they're getting on social media is equivalent to the guys that have access to multiple women sexually taking advantage of it. So the women will say, oh, I don't want the guy sleeping with other women, or I don't want the guy liking other women's pictures, yet they refuse to deny access, social media access to guys. They allow guys to like their pictures, comment, they laugh and giggle back with them, and they absorb that free attention. But if a guy gets a blowjob from a girl outside of his girlfriend or wife, he's a culprit. And the women refuse to see the equivalency in that. It's equal. It's not equal to you as a woman, but it's equal in the realm of reality. Do you understand what I'm trying to say?
Yes.
Because how much of that is an issue to you, it's equally an issue to him that other guys are liking your pictures, DMing you, and you're responding. You see what I mean? She said they start the conversation with obviously topic of sex. Nowadays, when you meet women on dating apps and you talk to them, they immediately go to, what are you looking for? Where's this going? What is your intention? That is literally the exact same thing as a guy steering the conversation directly towards sex, because that's his agenda. He wants to know what's up. Am I going to sleep with you or not? And the woman is doing the exact same thing. I want to know, are you going to commit to me or not? And both of them are almost ridiculous, but what the woman is doing is more ridiculous. And I'm going to tell you why. We know sex is surface level. So the guy saying, I want to sleep with you, despite the fact that he doesn't know her, that's still accurate. That's not ridiculous. He's saying, I like the way you look. I like your body. I want to sleep with you. He knows enough about you to tell you that. But the woman is expecting him to say, yeah, I'm looking for a relationship. I'm looking for something serious. I'm looking for something commitment in it. How? Because men are not wired that way. Men are not wired to walk around looking for commitment. Men don't go around saying, oh man, what's it, Wednesday? Oh, I got to find a woman to pay her bills. I just need a woman to be responsible for. I just need a woman to commit to. I just need a woman to deal with all her bullshit because I love her so much. That's not how we work. If a man wants to commit and provide and protect and so on and so forth, it's not based on a desire or fucking feeling that he woke up with. It's based on the individual. The woman needs to extract that from him. Equally, women don't wake up and say, I just need some dick. I just need a guy to pound me down. Where's the guy? Where's the guy to give me sex? I need sex. Where is it? No, but it's on the guy to make her feel that way about him. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? It's on him to extract that desire from her. And I don't understand how women don't understand this. It must be a father didn't explain it to them. But so many women play themselves on these dating apps because they come on here tired, frustrated, and impatient. And they think that it's proper venting is asking a guy what his intentions are right away. It's ridiculous. All you're doing is giving him an opportunity to lie to you. You're giving him either an opportunity to be extremely dishonest or extremely forward and direct. One or the other. You're either allowing him to say, listen, I don't want no strings attached, just casual, what's good? Or you allow him to say, yeah, I want a relationship and something real too. And so you're either wasting your time or you're submitting yourself to casual sex that he's already telling you is going nowhere. You created those two options yourself by coming at him like that. What you're trying to do is avoid doing the work of presenting your value and benefit to this man, because that takes time, it takes work, and it takes effort. And that's what women are avoiding nowadays with dating apps and social media. They're trying to make it quick, fast, and easy. Are you going to be my man and do all of this or not? Meanwhile, it's a bunch of shit that came before him. All that stuff that you are looking for a man for have nothing to do with this particular man. He just met you. And you want him to help you, support you, uplift you, and blah, 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 blah. For X amount of years that you've been alive, you want to throw all of that on him now, and you're trying to do it with the quick, fast.
Got it. So I definitely want the ladies' response to this one, but I do want to kind of tap into what you were talking about. Do you get a lot of dick pics too as well? Okay, great. So out of that, what would you say the percentage is like as far as men who would come at you with a normal conversation versus, hey, let me just throw this DP real quick?
Say 60%.
60% are throwing DPs at you?
Awesome.
I've never done that to a woman I haven't met in my life, ever. I couldn't even see doing that. That to me is just bizarre. I didn't know it was that critical. And I can understand in a way why this would turn women off. I do understand Ayindei's point where men are being forthcoming. But to women, I could see how that would be an absolute turn off, because it's like, well, damn. You know what I'm saying? Like, women want it to happen more organically.
Yes.
Women like to be fooled into being effed, if that makes sense. I understand women like the lies, be honest, because you know that this is what the man wants. When you see women, right, the first thing we have is a physical attraction, and we can't lie about it. If we know right away, like, damn, I want to hit, we know right away, and you know that he know right away. But
But women are the same way too.
I just
Right.
want to
I
say,
was
they
gonna
know
say
right away also.
that's the next thing about to come out of my mouth. Pause. Is that the women also know who they want to smash too. Women will conceal it though, because they don't want to be perceived as a 304 or anything, right? And it's understandable, because the main issue is men don't respect women who have higher body counts, and by and large, right? A lot of men, it doesn't faze them, but most men want a woman who has limited encounters sexually, right? So if you told me you had like 20, 30 bodies, I'm like, how old are you? First off, that would be a no-go for me no matter what, only because I'm like, all right, you're too active for me, right? And a lot of men would say that. Some men don't really give a damn, but a lot of men don't want that. So the problem is men expect you to give them sex very early, right? And if you offer it, they will take it, but simultaneously are telling you that you should have a low body count. So then you're in a
Women are always in a contradicting position when it comes
Right.
to sex.
Right.
It's like, we as women, we already know from off the bat when we meet a guy, it's somebody we're probably going to end up in bed with, or somebody we're going to probably friend zone. So it's,
Wow.
yeah.
Could we talk about the friend zone for a second? Because to me, I feel like the friend zone is nefarious, and I get it, and I ain't gonna knock your hustle, but if you understand sometimes the men that happens to, right? If you're looking at it from the other side, the man who's going into a situation in good faith, he likes you, and you're thinking about you think that most men, not you personally, but women in general, feel like most men have a similar personality. There's so many different shades, right? Whereas some men are ill-equipped to deal with that. Some men, I'll be honest with you, I grew up in a Caribbean house, so y'all know how that go. How many talks have you had about birds and the bees?
Not
My
Same.
dad.
And I don't want to put this on that, but
My dad just gave me a reproductive book and told me to read it. And
right.
asked-
And so you had
asked
no
me a
idea.
question later.
I went out like a fish out of water, and the culture's different, right? At least it was during my era. I'll be 46 Wednesdays or Thursday, one of the days. But so what I'm saying is that I ran into a buzzsaw, because initially I went out into relationships, and I went and I saw what the model was. The model was, between the family that I saw, all of them, they were, they were going for marriage. And you find a woman and you settle down and that's it. But that's not what happened. What happened was women were playing these games that I just was not prepared for. And they created a supervillain because I got rejected, and I will be pouring into these women. And I'm like, damn, and I'm watching the dudes who are winning because I'm analytical. It didn't take me long to catch on, but I had no experience. So I went out there green as hell, and I found out the hard way, like what I did, and I told the story a lot, but I know you guys didn't hear it. Initially, when I came out, this was like very late teens when I started to learn dating. I got calibrated. By the time I got to like my mid-20s, I feel like I had a serious handle on it, right? But within that phase, I conducted an experiment. And I realized that I was doing something wrong because I didn't do well with women, but I realized other men didn't. I didn't get mad at the game or nothing. I said, I got to learn how to play this shit. So what I did was I did it like analytics. I had a larger sample size. I dealt with more women. And as a byproduct, I couldn't give them the attention that I thought they deserved. But then what I found out was that women responded better to less attention when they had less access to me. And it felt like I was dealing with other women. They treated me better. And I was like, wait, this doesn't make any sense. But it made perfect sense when you begin to understand women. So I say all that to say that sometimes women ignore the best men, right? That dude that would be a great husband, that dude that would be a great father, and he might not be able to provide 6 figures, but at least he's a hard worker and he's doing his thing. Women aren't attracted to those guys as much until like later. You know, do y'all kind of agree with that or not?
Like in my case, because probably when you're in like your 20s, yeah, a lot of women play into that. Like they like the whole cat and mouse game. When you start hitting over 30, we already know where we are financially, how we want our household run, everything else.
Yeah.
So you kind of looking for like the partner to match on that same equal level.
Exactly.
So it's like we're talking about like dick pics, we're not sitting here asking you right off the back, like, where's this going? We're going to let things flow. We're going to have a conversation with you and see how this conversation is going. But it's like, hey, my name is Chris. And the first thing you send me, I want to fuck tonight. I'm not responding to that.
That is an actual message?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's like,
we have horror stories, okay?
So it's like, maybe if I was in my 20s, like in my 20s still, maybe I would have felt that kind of way. Like what you're saying about as far as like women, like pushing like, oh, you want this, you want that. No, we're not doing that in our 30s. We already got our careers. Some of us have our own families. You know, you kind of just want somebody to kind of match you on the same level.
Exactly.
Or we're not sitting here like, well, I'm out here dating. What are you bringing to the table? What are we doing here?
Exactly.
We'll talk to you, have a conversation, see where this is going. And then if it leads to like, hey, you're sending me a sexy picture, that's one thing.
Exactly.
Versus you sending me a picture like 2 minutes into conversation.
Exactly.
Or you're like trying to force me to come out because you want to fuck.
Exactly. Exactly.
Then we as older women, we're not responding to that.
Exactly.
It was like, okay, well, have a nice night.
I mean, that's definitely not an age thing. It's based on the individuals and the circumstances, the dynamics. So, because it's really not what you do. It's how you do it anyway. At the end of the day, it's how you do it, and it's who you're doing it. But again, like coming back to my earlier point, there still is this duality. There's still this equality in this situation, in the grievances. So she mentioned putting guys in the friend zone. Absolutely impossible. Women can't put guys in the friend zone.
I've done it.
And no, hold on. I'm gonna tell you why they can't. Women cannot put guys in the friend zone. And also, there's equivalent to that. I don't know if you want to call it
the sex zone,
sex with benefits or whatever. To me, it's still the same friend zone. It's just the woman is in the friend zone now, right? And what it is it's one side extracting the qualities of the other side for free. Mm-hmm. So what she's describing, this friend zone that guys, I guess they think they're super familiar with. The reason why women can never put you in that goddamn friend zone, you could only ever put yourself in that friend zone. Because what it is, by definition, is it's a one-way street. It's the guy providing boyfriend-like qualities, energy, and resources. You're listening to her problems. You're giving her attention. You're accessible. You're taking her out, or when you spend time with her, you pay for it. So basically, she's getting either all or a majority of the things that she would want out of a boyfriend, yet he's not getting the things he would want out of a girlfriend. My point is, the verb is going towards her. So he's performing the action. So she can't put you in the friend zone, my guy, because she can't put a gun to your head and make you take her out, pay for her stuff, and you know that it's not romantic. She can't make you listen to her bullshit when she's just venting to you and using you as an emotional tampon. She can't make you do any of those things. You would have to participate. So if you're doing those things and you're not getting any progress on what you want, that's because, number one, you're not being stern and direct enough. Women want men to tell them what they're saying yes or no to. One thing that irritates a woman is when she doesn't know what it is that you even want to do. She wants you to say, hey, listen, what are you doing Thursday night? I want to take you X, Y, and Z, so that she can say yes or no.
True.
She wants you to say, hey, listen, I'm feeling you. You know what I'm saying? I want to spend some time with you. I want to go out. I'm getting a room afterwards. Are you down or not? Make it clear. Yes, I plan to sleep with you tonight. Then she can say yes or no. What they don't like is when you try to pull the rug from under them, and they don't like when you do what they do, which is be indirect. So if she's coming with this indirect energy, this passive energy, she wants you to have a very clear, you see what I'm saying, energy, right? So what was the other thing she was saying? She was saying, oh, well, we have horror stories. You know, guys will send dick pics and they'll do this and it's coming too quickly and it's not positioned right. The flow isn't there. The chemistry is not there and he's already jumping out. Guess what? Women do the exact same thing to guys with their equivalent way, which is saying, hey, take me to Roof Chris. Take me to Papa Doc's or whatever. And it's like, whoa, time out. I said, let's get lunch. I didn't tell you to tell me where I'm taking you and how much I'm spending. You see what I'm saying? And it's not even so much, it's not even so much that I wouldn't take you to a nice place. It's not that I wouldn't spend that type of money. It's that you don't tell me what I'm going to do for you. You don't.
That kind of depends on how the woman plays the field also. Like, I'm not going to tell you where to take me. I'm like, okay, let's hang out. Let's chill. Yeah, it's you as a man. I want you to be that alpha male and be like, okay, well, get ready by 8. And we'll, like you said, have all this planned out.
Exactly.
But if I got to sit here and plan out my date with you.
No, that's not what I'm talking about. No, it's not the planning aspect. What I'm saying is the same way a guy is forcing the issue and the topic of sex immediately right away, and he's not even taking her along with the ride. He ran over there. He ran over to sex and turned around. She wasn't even with him. He didn't get there with her is what I'm saying. They didn't arrive there together. He tried to artificially, you get what I'm saying, push in that direction. So she was saying, yeah, we have those horror stories. What I'm trying to say is men have an equal story to that. It's not the woman pushing towards sex. It's the woman pushing towards how much you're going to spend on me. You get what I'm trying to say? I'm trying to extract these resources from you right now. And it's like, whoa, slow the fuck. I don't even know you like that.
I don't want to get too much off of the friend zone because I see you you definitely have some pushback on whether you can put a guy in a friend zone or not. And I also believe so. And the only reason why I say that women can put a man in a friend zone is because going back to what my earlier point is that not all men are equipped like this. And sometimes women manipulate men into the friend zone where they'll do the breadcrumbing where you'll get to feel like that there's something going on, but it's not. Because if it were inverted, and a man were taking advantage of a woman and you're saying you're gaslighting, you're breadcrumbing, you're manipulating, then it exists. But we make it seem as if sometimes women can't manipulate a man into a friend zone because she sees some resources that she's attracted to, give him the idea that she will eventually, remember the Urkel, I'm wearing you down. Like, you think you wearing her down. You think you have an opportunity.
That's not my objection to it, though. That's not my objection. So because the same could be said up for women. That same excuse could be made. When women could say, oh, well, I'm a single mother because my baby lied to me and he manipulated me, he changed in X, Y, and Z. And I'm going to sit there and listen to all of this and then I'm going to act like a father would act and I'm going to lean forward. I'm going to say, so were you married before you got pregnant?
Right.
Exactly.
Right. No.
So I'm not saying that men don't lie or whatever. The point that I'm trying to make is society, nature, common sense, parenting, whatever, has already put in place a method of discernment in that particular situation. And it's if this guy does not propose to you and marry you first, you don't have the baby, regardless of what he says. And that can be put on any man. It doesn't matter how smooth he is, doesn't matter how tall he is, how short he is, how rich he is, how broke he is. If you follow that particular protocol, you will not get into that situation period, regardless of how manipulative or clever this guy is. So that's why I say that a woman cannot put you into the friend zone. I'm not saying they can't lie and pretend like they like you. I'm not saying they can't make it seem like they're going to eventually give you some pussy and they stalling you out. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is there are very simple protocols that you can put in place to know, is this chick fucking with me or not? So you're basically letting her waste your time is my point.
Right. So with that, the reason why I said it is because sometimes, I mean, like us seasoned bros, we get it, but we got to understand that not everybody's equipped the same, right? We're not all created equally. We definitely have some differences, and there are, I would say, men that are more susceptible and women that are more susceptible to the manipulation, particularly when you're punching outside of your weight class. And you see, like, so if you're with somebody, maybe you can generally get like 5s or whatever. That 7, that 8, that 9 can definitely manipulate you more, because you, like, if you're green, you didn't have any OGs to pull your coat. Your parents did not give you those birds and the bees talk. Some of us get it, but I do understand, because I've been there where you just don't know. I had to learn and get better, but that light doesn't turn on for everybody. For some people, they're perpetually in that green zone forever where they just don't know anything and they're susceptible to it. And being that they're going into the situation in good faith, they're ill-advised and ill-informed, or just not informed at all. Those are sometimes the people who will be susceptible to that manipulation, men and women alike. So I wanted to ask you though, what kind of a man would you put into a friend zone and why?
See, like with me, like I already know I have a strong personality off the bat. Okay. And if I'm talking with you and I realize, okay, conversation's not there, we actually don't like mesh well, conversational wise, I will be honest with you from the door. Like, look, this is not gonna work between us. I'm gonna let you know, like, I don't plan on dating you. And I've told guys that. Now, if you keep persisting after that,
that's your fault. That's how you feel. Now, did you know that what they still wanted?
Yeah, and I'll be upfront, and I will tell you, I'm not giving you no pussy.
Y'all both proving my point, though.
Yeah,
she's telling you I'm not interested, and you're continuing to engage. You put yourself in the friend zone.
Yes, you know what? And then after that, you put yourself
plausible deniability, and that's dangerous, I think, because you know how he coming. You know the only reason he's there. And, and you do think that just by you saying it, is going.
Oh, I will keep reminding you.
That's his responsibility.
That's his responsibility. It doesn't relinquish you.
Because I would tell people, like me personally, I would tell people like, okay, look, all right, you know, we've been talking for X, Y, and Z amount of days, weeks, whatever. I'm like, we actually don't have any chemistry. There is no chemistry there for me to keep moving forward. I'm not going to waste your time or my time. So at that point, it's like, well, if you're going to keep persistent, I will tell you like, hey, look, I don't think we will work. I'm not planning on dating you. Let's just stay friends. And if that's not something you can do, it's fine. You can delete me. You can block me. And I've told
you. Oh my God, that friend zone. What do you think about that? Do you also do the same thing?
It works sometimes.
What's your interpretation of friend zone? How do you utilize it?
I just say plain out. I'm Jamaican, so I just plain out say it. I'm not interested. I'm just raw. I say that's how it is. I'm not interested. I don't see you that way. I just be honest.
But that's why that's why you can't take that seriously.
But with that, what about what happens after that? What's their response? And how do you handle their response?
They mostly disregard it.
Try.
As they should.
Okay. As so you don't keep them around for anything, like if they want to take you out, like, hey, can we just go to the movies?
Because I'm not going to lead you.
Me personally, it's like if I'm not interested, I'm not even going to waste your time. Like,
so what does friend zone consist of with you? What happens in the friend zone? What type of interactions do you have? Do you talk on the phone? Do you vent to him? Do you talk about the real men that
not really.
What do you do with the friend zone person?
Honestly, I don't really. Like, maybe if I'm bored.
Right, if you're bored, you on a humbug.
Yeah, but that's about it. But nothing, it'll be like a dry conversation. It would be nothing serious to me personally.
I might ask you how your day is and how's work and things going on with you, but I'm not asking you to take me out. I'm not trying to mislead you into like...
Okay, so you're not still extracting resources.
Yeah, not really.
I can take care of myself.
Yeah, I'm
not saying all females are like that, but I don't...
Listen, all of this is subjective.
Right.
Because, first of all, whether Black women want to admit it or not, they are some of the most like mixed signal sending women on the planet. Black women have a very, very hard time showing interest and attraction to black men. I don't know what happened in our culture. Well, actually, I do know, but there's a point in time in our culture where they started being engineered to believe that being submissive, being feminine, being accepting, being soft, you know what I'm saying, showing attraction, complimenting a man, any of those things automatically put you in the category of weak. So what happens with black women, especially Caribbean black women, is that even if they like the guy, a lot of times they still play like they don't. They still give an attitude like they don't and make it difficult. And so a lot of Caribbean men already
tell you I like you.
Hold on. So a lot of Caribbean men already know this because they're not virgins. And they can think back all the times when they've slept with a woman, it started off with her being hard, with her having this force field around her. So I'm not saying that when she says that sometimes she's not being honest. What I'm saying is the guys don't know. They don't know when she's really not interested and when she's just playing like that because her ego won't allow her to admit, God forbid, she's attracted to a black man and he has the advantage. So a lot of these dudes are still going to be very aggressive. They're still going to be very persistent, right? Caribbean men are the most persistent men on the planet. You see what I'm trying to say? And the reason why is it's a response to the women. Women have to understand that the way men behave about sex and relationships.
That's why you got to keep saying no.
Is a direct response to the way they behave. We only do what we got to get to the hole. That's the reality of it. We don't decide the way the game operates. Females decide the way the game operates. They complain about the baby daddies and this and that. They're the ones that create them. Just like you said, they turned you into a villain. They complain about the playboys and the players. They create them. They complain about the dudes that expect sex right away. Hello, your sister and them, they are creating that dynamic. He's not behaving that way because it never worked on no other woman. He's acting that way because that's the way it usually goes. So he's trying to eliminate the waste of time immediately. The same way women try to eliminate guys as quickly as possible. Up, too short, doesn't make enough money. Oh, no. I don't like the way he dresses. I don't like this. No, I don't like that. I don't like that. No, I don't like this. I don't like that. They try to eliminate the guy right away. So
yeah, I try to eliminate you from the beginning. So this is why I tell you that. So at my end of the day, and I'll give you an option. You can still turn around and be my friend, or you can feel free to block me. And I've told people that.
Okay.
Now, if you contact me after I told you to block me, then that's on you.
Wait a minute. So wait. All right. If you're initiating a block,
I've told
why don't you block them?
Turn up the attention, bro.
Why do you need to tell them to block you?
No, because I
still want them to see you.
Like I'm older. I really don't care to sit there and go through my Instagram or my Facebook and go block people.
It takes 1 second to do that, though.
Yeah, but I'm not doing it. Like I have other things going for me. I'm not sitting here going.
It takes the same amount of time that you would tell them to block you.
But I was like, you know what? If this is your intention, this is what you want, and I'm not giving it to you, I was like, feel free to block me. It's not a problem.
Can I tell you the real reason why women don't block guys in that scenario?
You can keep
I'll tell you.
you feel like
I'll tell you why.
Keep watching what
I'll tell you why. I'm gonna tell you why. And
Women
it feeds into what she said earlier. Earlier, when you first started off, you said, "Are you single?" She said, "Yeah, she's single." And you asked her, "Are you single by choice?" Would you say you're single by choice? And she said, "Yeah." So what guys have to understand is it's not always that women are being deceptive or they're lying or whatever. What happens is their brain fundamentally works different than ours.
Understood.
And they speak a different language than us, but not only do they speak a different language, they speak differently. And what I mean by that is you see how some languages they read from left to right and some languages they read from right to left. That's a huge difference because that means the sentences are phrased completely differently. Right? So that whole brain setup, the context is completely different. So when you're asking the question as men, we hear the question like how you asked it.
Right.
Women hear that question differently. So you're saying single by choice because women keep saying that. So when women say I'm single by choice, what we hear is the way that sentence is grammatically built. Meaning that I just don't want a relationship. I just do not want a boyfriend, period. It has nothing to do with the boyfriends that are available. But when women say that, what they're saying is, I got plenty of guys that want to be my boyfriend, but I'm saying no to those guys. That's the choice that she's referring to. Just like when guys ask, hey, what is it that you want in a guy and blah, blah, blah. And women quickly say, well, I just want a guy that's nice to me. I just want a guy that treats me well. I want a nice guy. So what we're hearing is what the fuck she just said grammatically, meaning that that's what I want is a guy, any guy that does these things. What a woman is actually saying is, I want the same men that I've been attracted to, The same men I've been given sexual access to, I want those men to treat me this way. And that's where we're having this mental disconnect, because guys are saying choose better. And women are thinking, I am choosing, the guys aren't behaving better. And that's why we keep doing this, because we're not speaking the same fucking language. Somebody needs to come in and translate and get us on the same page.
We need a mediator.
Right. Exactly. What men are saying is choose the men that have those qualities and those morals and those values. And what the women are saying is that all men should have these qualities and values, and we should be able to ignore the ones that we don't find attractive and benefit from the ones that we do find attractive. But the part that the women are missing is that the way these men behave is tightly associated with who they are and what they have access to. You're asking men that have access to all the women to somehow be the most loyal men and not exercise these options, which is ridiculous. You're asking men who have pride, self-worth, self-respect, dignity, as well as quality to chase you like a desperate fucking puppy, because the low quality men are chasing you. It doesn't work that way. The low value men behave the way they do because they're low value. The high quality men behave the way they are because they built the skills to become high value in the first place. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? So they're not going to do all of that, become this person now, and then start behaving like some weak, desperate loser that needs a woman's validation. It don't work that way. If you want the guy that's way the hell up here, you, by definition, are going to have to be way down here. So you're going to have to be willing to behave like that. Humble. You see what I'm saying? And grateful. I'm so grateful to have you, God, King, man. And then a woman's going to say, I'm not doing that. And that, okay, then stop wanting to do that is that superior to you.
But it kind of depends on the woman. Because like in my case, like with me, I can't talk for all women. But it's like, I already know like off the back, I have a strong personality. And I'll tell people that.
Explain strong personality.
I'm very dominant in every aspect of dating. And if I look like I can, I don't want to say bitch you out, but like tell you what to do, I'm just going to cut you off. I've told people, like I said, I don't want to talk to you. This is not going to work. I'm not going to string you along. I'm not going to let you pay for nothing for me. I'm not going to let you date me. We're not fucking. That's why I said friend zone. Right. So if you're going to be my friend, you can actually be my friend. But as soon as you try to make the initiative to go the other route, like try to date me low key or force me to try to date you, I'm not going to do it.
So you want a dominant guy
for that?
No, but if you do meet a, like you said, a high value man, yes, alpha female will lower herself to be submissive to that guy.
Exactly.
This may be a controversial take.
Like he's saying like a high value guy.
I don't
that's
believe in alpha woman.
That's what I'm saying. It's not really possible.
I don't think there's such a thing.
Yeah, like me personally, like I know for a fact, like I have a very strong personality in a lot of ways. I already know off the back if you're somebody who I'm attracted to, because the first thing to any laws of dating is the attraction.
Right.
So if we meet you, you're ugly, we're not talking to you.
Right.
If you're somebody that's handsome, we're going to try to pursue you. But if you're handsome and the conversation sucks, then that's as far as it's
now. When you say
dominant,
I want you to tell me, a dominant woman, right? I want you to tell me if you think that will actually help you, or is it going to be a hindrance to obtaining men? How attractive do you feel like a dominant woman is to a man?
So as far as like my attractiveness, yes, a lot of men are drawn to it in the
not
sense
attractiveness. You describing yourself as dominant, and what that means to you. How attractive do you think that a dominant woman would be to a man?
See, in me, like if I meet a guy like who has more dominant personality, that alpha male or the one more higher level, yes, I do not portray the same way as I do to other guys. So it's like, yeah, I'm going to listen. Yeah, if you want a meal cooked, I would do it. If you coming home from a hard day at work, yes, there's going to be food in the house for you. So it's like, we know when to play the field. It's like, but if not, then you're just coming at me like, oh, I want to fuck. This is the what you're trying to do, and that's all you want to bring to the table. Of course, I'm going to clap back. I'm not going to listen to you. I'm going to keep doing whatever I'm doing, and I'm going to keep dating everybody else.
Can I ask you a question? Because this always blows my mind, this selective stuff. Because instantly, if we turn the tables, this logic falls apart. If we say, hey, well, what if you got a guy and he's selective with his masculinity? You know what I mean? Like his masculinity is situational. You know what I mean? It falls apart. Also, if we try to say, well, as a guy, I'll be masculine when the right woman comes along. Like this is not how this works. You need to have already be in that state. If that's the case, then hold on.
We're not feminine.
If that case, a Dusty could say, when I meet the right woman, then I'll become successful. Then I'll become ambitious. Then I'll become dedicated and disciplined. When I meet the right woman. It just doesn't work it's just silly, right?
It depends on.
But hold on, let me ask you this, because what you're talking about is switching something on and off, which personally I don't believe is even possible. But I'm not gonna butt heads with you on that. I'm just saying I don't even think that that's possible. That a woman can be assertive and dominant and portray these masculine qualities and become successful in the workplace, and then all of a sudden put it away at 5 p.m. because she's going home to her husband. I just don't.
I work in a very assertive field already.
I understand, but let me tell you where I'm going with this, because this is very important, because this is where a lot of women are right now. Modern women in general, Western women in general, and especially Black women. And right now, this is a very dangerous mindset to have for Black women, because they're losing jobs at record lightning speed, disproportional to everyone else in the country. That's a fact. They're losing their employment, right? AI is taking their work. I saw this coming a decade ago. I was predicting it too early for anyone else to see it. They thought I was just stupid and paranoid for pointing this out.
I had about 5 years.
Right, but so I'm already peeping game as to the fact that majority of the jobs that are held by Black women were getting replaced first. Motor vehicles, they dominate that place. Walmart, they dominate, registers and cashiers and stuff like that. Fast food, they dominate these areas. And Black women be quick to ignore those Black women's positions and jobs and act as if every Black woman owns a salon and every Black woman is a businesswoman and every Black woman is in corporate. It's like, no, look at the numbers. The majority of Black women in America work like those type jobs, cashiers at Walmart, the desk at motor vehicle and stuff like that. That's what the majority are, period. Stop it. Knock it the fuck off. Let's be for real here. So them losing jobs so rapidly is going to flood the market with Black women that are going to be changing their tune. They're no longer going to be singing that I'm strong, independent, and I don't need a man, because simultaneously as the job market is drying up for them, they're passing all kind of policies and laws that are going to take away their government assistance as well. You get what I'm trying to say? So they're going to be stripped of all of these avenues to say, I don't need a man, when in all actuality, it always comes back to the man anyway. They can be in corporate, they could be dentists, lawyers, whatever. They still come back to wanting a man. Whether it's 45, 38, 39, whatever, they still go full circle and come right back to wanting a man, not needing one, but wanting one. It's the same fucking thing at the end of the day, if it's that big of a deal. And then complaining that the market doesn't serve them. So I'm saying all of this as to say, I don't feel like Black women are in a position anymore to ignore what men are saying. I don't think they're in a position to ignore male leadership anymore. I personally don't have any skin in the game. But as you know, I'm trying to dedicate my time and my effort to moving forward and being solution orientated in the space, right? Mm-hmm. Technically speaking, I don't even date Black women, bro. And this is something that Black women do not understand.
Pull up on that.
Because, no, hold on. So this is the language barrier that we were talking about before. When men say, hey, I don't even date Black women, what Black women hear is, I don't date Black women because they're Black. And a lot of times, I'll tell you from personal experience and the guys that I talk to, that's actually not what we're saying. What we're saying is we don't date Black women by circumstance, by occurrence. Because what happens is the things that we're not going to tolerate, Black women lead in. You get what I'm trying to say? The things that we want, need, and require.
That's just the pool you came across.
Hold on.
No, hold on.
I want both to respond.
But let me get you, because that's a valid thing to say, and I'm gonna go ahead and shoot it down, because this is the mistake women keep making. They insist on, and this is all women. This is not Black women. This is women in general. This is a female issue. They keep on dodging accountability, dodging the points that are being made, dodging the grievances, dodging the data, by constantly trying to deflect to something else, missing the main fucking point, which is that you're not going to get what you want because you're not making the adjustments. That's like me saying I'm trying to get into real estate and everything that I'm doing is failing, but yet I'm doing the same thing over and over again. And someone's coming to me and saying, well, the reason why that's not working is because of this, this, and this. This is what those people want and require. And I keep on deflecting and saying, well, it depends on where they're going to. It depends on, bro, you're not getting what you want. You're not selling the properties you want to sell. You're not buying the properties you want to buy. So you need to make the fucking adjustment. Because the people that aren't doing what you would like them to do, they're getting what they want. Black men are not out here belly aching and crying that they can't get or find women that they want. They might be complaining about black women in general, but I promise you they're getting a Becky. I promise you they're getting a Maria. I promise you they're getting a Sue Lang. I've dated Arab women, my guy. You see what I'm trying to say? So the world is wide open for the black man.
They're going to hate you on this.
Right?
For this.
No. They can hate me, but I don't give a fuck because it's coming from a good place and I'm trying to help. I just told you I have no skin in the game. I don't need any type of woman, especially a black woman, to agree with me. I don't need you to understand me. I don't need you to follow me. I don't need you to submit to me. I don't need you to do any of that. My passport is well exercised. 20 countries in 2024 alone. And what I found out irrefutably is that I don't have like all these potential options. I actually legitimately have women that I've met their family, I've spoken to their father, and they are prepared, willing, and interested in marrying me. And they're just sitting there waiting in multiple different countries. And it's on me to decide at what level of success am I willing to now go cash out and do that.
Before you keep digging that hole,
you see what I'm trying to say?
Ask you at least, are some of these places in the motherland?
Africa included.
Okay, so
right?
that's still a beautiful black woman.
But no, that's not. Stop it. Because when I say black, I'm specifically talking about American women of color. Because outside of America, they're not black women, bro. If they live in Kenya, they're Kenyan. They live in Uganda, they're Ugandan. You get what I'm trying to say? If they live in South Africa, they're South African. If they live in Dominican Republic, they're Dominican. We're the only ones stuck in that ignorance. So the way that black women are behaving is not hurting black men. I understand that they're hurt. I understand that they're resentful. I understand they have all these unhealed wounds and all these childhood traumas and all this shit that they're dealing with black men, which is why they have this force field and they have this us versus them mentality. The point that I'm making is that it's them that's losing.
See, I've seen that amongst
I definitely want both of y'all to respond.
Yeah, because I was like, I've seen that amongst American women, but we're not American women.
But we have the same plight, especially when you're in America. You have the same plight because you're getting the same results.
Let her go. Let her go.
Like, yeah, well, you're phrasing to it. Yeah, I've seen that amongst American black women that are dating. They're, like you said, they work at ShopRite, they work at Walmart, and then they want these high value men to pay for this, pay for that. But that's those American women, and that's how they run things. Because even as a woman, when I hear other black women talking like that, like, oh, yeah, we're trying to date this ball player. We're going after these high value men. It's like, well, to me, I'm asking you, what are you bringing to the table? Because he's not going to spend X, Y, and Z on you, and you have nothing to bring but yourself. So, yeah, I've seen that amongst black American women, but we're from Jamaica.
But he wants.
I got it. I got it.
He wants to do that though.
So here's a problem with that, right? So even though I can understand there may be some differences, but all in all, we all have the same struggle.
We're getting the same results.
It's difficult dating for all of us, right? Y'all are both single, and I'm going to venture out and say not by choice. So we're still getting the same results. So even though you may have a slightly different methodology, there might be some tweaking that men and women can do, both sides of it. So, because let's just say that if we had a situation where you said, all right, Caribbean people are marrying at a way higher rate. Once you're in America, we are Americanized. I can't even front. I am Americanized. I grew up in a Guyanese household. However, Americanized AF. Right? I do have some things that I take. Will I be able to make? Yes. Do I have a taba? Can I make roti? Fuck yeah. Do I let you dig? Like, but it doesn't mean that I'm not still around the same environment, that I don't witness the same struggles. So we all can relate. I don't want us to separate, man, because at the end of the day, when everybody outside look at us,
we look horrible.
We the same.
We taking that.
They're not going to be like, hey, are you FDA?
Exactly. We represent each other.
Pulled over by the cops, you FBA. They don't give a damn.
They don't give a shit.
We the same. I think that that whole divide and conquer thing is real, and I think that we all should find more ways to collaborate and be on the same page versus us separating. I don't want us to have all these subcategories. You know what I mean? I don't see it like that.
In my opinion, honestly, that's how I think all black men do to black women. They already put us in a category. There it is, bitter baby mother, angry. You know, we this, we lie.
Well, how could they not?
If we speak up, like you see what we're doing, if we speak up, it's an issue. You know, we're women. We have a right to speak up. We have a right to say what we want to say. We have a right to express ourselves. And I feel like as a Black woman, they talk that out of us. And I feel we should have a right to say how we feel, how we express. But in a Black woman society, we're being shut out. We're being categorized as this, that. Right. We have a right to speak out as a woman, you know. If any other race speak out or say anything, it's okay.
No.
But if it's us, it's an issue. We're bitter, we're angry, we're this, you know. That's how I feel in the Black community already. And that's exactly how he's expressing in this conversation that's been going on. That's how I feel personally as a woman right now with him speaking what he's saying. I just see as him just talking down as us as Black women. Just talking negative about us in general. That's personally how I feel in this conversation.
Smooth, you gotta let me get this.
With him.
I need the examples. I need where I spoke down.
But like,
because this is hold on, let her tell me, because this is a major issue. Men say one thing, women hear something else. And I understand that, which I guess makes it my fault because I already know ahead of time, all they hear is I'm being attacked, when that's never what is actually being said. So tell me where I spoke down on Black women. All I did was describe the situation, the dynamic that we're in. Where's the part where I targeted Black women and I spoke down on them?
Feel free. You got the floor. Be honest, because you did feel something, and I don't want anyone's perspective to be
whatever he probably been through it, or you saying like you think
it's not what I've been through, it's what I see.
Yeah, but that's what you.
I haven't been through it because I knew to avoid it from a young age.
I think it's important for her to articulate it, so at least you'll know.
Yeah, but not all Black women are the same. Like me, I work in corporate America. Do you not want to express it? All right, so this is what I'm saying.
The point. This is what I'm trying to say. If it's the mass majority, that's number one. Check that box. It's the hold on. It's the image that's been portrayed through media for multiple decades. Check that box. It's the majority experience that men have when they interact with Black women. Check that box. That was the point I was trying to make earlier when I said I don't date Black women. And what women hear is, and she's proving it right now. All they hear is, oh my God, we're being attacked, we're being talked down on. That's not what's happening. You have to listen. That's not even what I said. What I'm saying is the reason why a lot of guys with options, because Black men in general date Black women. That's another misconception. Black men overwhelmingly date exclusively Black women. Yeah. It's the Black men that have the most options. They tend not to date Black women. No, and I'm going to explain to you. Hold on. They actually date Black women also. But when I say options, I'm not talking about only income. So we got to stop there. There's a lot of ugly dudes that make great money. Okay? And they married to women they've been with since before they were making the money. But anyhow, what happens is, just like anywhere else in life, any person in any situation, there's going to be options. And what do human beings do with options? They choose the perceived better option. I don't care if you're talking about cars. I don't care if you're talking about a burger. When you have options, you are naturally, as a human being, going to pick what you perceive to be your better option. You might not be right, but you're going to pick what you think is your better option and what you feel is your better option, right? And you're going to base it mostly on your experience and public perception. A lot of times people will buy something because publicly that thing has more appeal or status. We were talking about earlier how people are buying Mercedes-Benz, but the reliability lately has been trash. But people still buy them because the status that's associated with them. Right. Whereas a Toyota is a much more reliable car, but it doesn't have the cool points. So this is what happens when guys, especially Black guys, have options, meaning they're not limited to any type of race, culture, creed, and even in my case, not limited by proximity because I can get on a plane. So what happens is when you're trying to interact with the women, you can give, me personally, I don't give Black women less opportunity. I actually give them more. I don't give Black women less patience and tolerance. I give them more. And they still push it to the point where you say, I am the fuck out of here. From the first message, you're already getting disrespect. You're already getting a certain tone. You're already getting a certain tension. You're already getting a certain type of resentment that has nothing to do with you because you're just meeting this individual. And you're expected to keep putting up with all this unnecessary bullshit when you have other women that are far more receptive, far more appreciative, far more interested. They admire you more. They're complimenting you. They're lifting you up. They're speaking you up. All of this stuff, and I'm supposed to ignore and forego that to go deal with a black woman that's going to be difficult and problematic from the beginning, whether it's to test me or that's actually her personality. So what she's saying to me is, this is how I am from the beginning. It's only going to get worse.
But I feel like
It's only gonna get worse.
I'm gonna let it go, but then I'm gonna break this down. But
Did she miss the part where I said I was well traveled?
I know you're well traveled.
Do you know how many American cities I've lived in? So it's not like I just met black women. Mind you, my stepfather owned barbershops and salons. So when I was a kid, that used to have to sit in the salon weekdays waiting to get picked up after school, and I used to hang out in the barbershops weekends. What I'm saying is, I spent 5 days a week around women. Black women speaking freely. And I spent 2 days a week around black men speaking freely. So I already know where black women's heads at when it comes to black men. I already know what they think and what they feel about us. Okay? Candid. I'm hearing it unfiltered from I'm a little dude. So that's why when I started dating chicks, I never took it personal the way that black women rejected me or anything. I always laughed and smirked because I already knew it was coming from before I passed puberty. Before I even started liking girls, I already knew how they treat black men. And when I started talking to white girls, it was always drastically different. You talk to the black girl, hey, what's up, Mario? What you doing? What do you want? No, I'm just trying to get to know you. What's up, beautiful? You got a boyfriend? Why you want to know? So anyway, I'm just saying, can I take you out? How you gonna take me out? You even got no car.
So I want you to go, but then I'm gonna monologue after you.
You're like, well, damn.
I've seen where he's coming from. I've seen it with amongst like culture wise. So it's like when you come across certain women like us, we're not that kind of way. Yeah, we get put into that same box with every other black woman. Right. So it's like, I hear you, I've known it to be true because I've seen my black friends that I went to school with act that way towards men. And then I'm like, well, how do you expect to get married or have a family with somebody if you act like that? And I've seen it amongst our own culture women, but then you got the rest of us who are not that way, who we get categorized as that type of individual, or they expect like.
What did he say about other people? How other people see us? Do you think when
they already put us in a box? Like I work in a corporate field where I'm in legal, right? From the door when you're interviewing, yeah, the first thing they see is that piece of paper. So all you're reading is my experience. So then when they meet you face to face, it's like, oh, shit, it's a black woman.
Exactly.
And at that point, it's like, okay, well, I have to speak louder than what you already have in the back of your mindset as an individual. Like, I'm not whoever you think my people are. Mm-hmm. I am a much better option for your position.
Is that fair to you?
So I've had it happen because I've worked in corporate my whole life. So it's like, yeah, I'm a woman who does not work at McDonald's, does not work at Burger King. I don't work at Walmart. I started at one law firm. Now I work in a corporate law firm.
Is it fair to you, though?
It's not fair to me, but it happens. But you have to know how to maneuver around those things. So it's like, if you're willing to give me a chance, yes, I'm willing to give you a chance. Oh. I don't come off a bitch from the door.
That's so awesome. Right. That's also awesome what she's just said.
Yeah, but the thing is, like,
this is what I try to tell. No, this is what I try to tell black women when they complain and they say the things like what she just said. That's how black men treat us, and black men put us in the same category. What I say is that's the perspective that you're choosing to take, because I see it as an advantage. Do you know how easy it is to be considered valuable and scarce and unique as a black woman? It's super easy. You ready? Oh my God, OMG. Get the cameras ready. Viral fucking moment. This is going to be so, oh my God, this is going to be a pivotal moment right here. As a black woman, you know what you could do to be so different and so special? You can smile. What? Yeah, you can start off with smiling. Next, you can be pleasant. You can take your voice up a couple octones and just be a little bit more high pitched and a little bit more feminine in your speech. You could compliment a dude. It's okay to say that he's handsome. It's all right to say that you appreciate that he's hardworking.
Do it.
Right? The point is the majority of black women do not, and majorities are what create the perception. So hold on, watch this. The same way that as a black man, I have to constantly going through life proving that I'm innocent. I'm already presumed to be guilty, right? I have to prove that I'm innocent, because the perception is that I'm guilty. When I'm on the plane and I'm sitting in first class, people are like, hey, you play football? Why do I have to play a sport? You didn't ask this white dude if he played a sport. You see what I'm trying to say? So as a black man, there's already these boxes that they're gonna put you in automatically. And that's fine. What becomes an issue is when you get it from your own people. And this is exactly what black women do. When they meet black men, they treat that black man as if he's guilty right away, and he needs to prove himself. He needs to prove he's not this, and that. And she's still going to be suspicious. If you meet a woman in Atlanta, oh, he gay. You got to prove you're not gay now. Meanwhile, she met you from you shooting your shot. Make it make sense. So I'm just telling black women what they have to be aware of because they're taking the L. They're the ones that are losing the most. I'm saying this out of brotherly love, out of uncle love, okay? That's where this is coming from. If they take it and receive it, God bless you. If you don't, oh well, I tried, because I don't have to. Because black women aren't even giving me any energy, any support, any money, any nothing. They give the least, but I still go out of my way because it's my community, right? It's my in-group. So I care. I have sisters. I have nieces. I got moms. I got aunties. I got sisters-in-laws. So I care. But if I'm being honest, black women give black men the least support on the planet. You were saying earlier that it's your right to speak, it's your right to have a voice, and so on and so forth. I thought that comment was interesting because I agree with it, but at the same time, I don't understand the context because you said it as if black women haven't had that space, when the problem is they have had that space for 50 years. And what they've done with that space is say everything under the sun that's wrong with black men that they chose. Not accurately depicting black men in general, only talking about the negative aspects of the black men that they chose, which is the smallest demographic, literally the smallest demographic. And then they have allowed society to paint this picture that all black men are this, and it's the worst of those black men. It's not even those black men were handsome, they were charismatic, they were athletic, they were this. Nope, it's all the negative things about those top percentage of black men that they chose and it didn't work out well with, disregarding all their brothers and cousins and uncles who are over here in the wider majority, who are now taking the brunt of this negative criticism that's public that you've given to the world. They've done it on Oprah, they've done it on The Shade Room, they've done it on every platform that black women have had, and black women have had platforms much longer than black men have had them. Because black men on TV has always been sports, entertainment, and comedy. It's never been talking about relationships. Okay, it's never been talking about the community.
I feel like that also comes from like where they've been raised at too. Because yeah, black men are not taught to express their feelings, talk about relationships, open up. They're not taught those things. And then cultural wise, we're not taught those things either. So it's like we learn those things, like you said, amongst the way.
Yeah.
So it's like, yeah, black men, like I raised 2 black boys. And I know that at some point when they get older, yes, they're going to face those complications when it comes with them being pursued as a black man. So it's like me as their mother, I have to protect them in a way. It's like, understand, not everybody's going to be kind to
How old are your boys?
3 and 4.
Okay.
So I am raising young kings. So it's like at the end of the day, yes, I have to make sure, when they get older, they know how to speak up. They know how to speak clearly. They know how to address people and not be seen by, for example, a white cop and put in a position where they're like, oh, they did something, they stole something, they can't be successful, this might not be their vehicle. So it's like, yeah, I get it because black men are not taught to speak up, be heard, or have a voice. I've raised with brothers.
Right.
So it's like I've seen my brothers date women. I've seen my brothers come home with women. I've seen it growing up. So it's like from that aspect, I know. And my father, he is very successful. So he chooses to be single by choice. So it's like in that case, it's like I've seen it from all different angles.
Why would he do that though?
I'm going to, here goes my monologue.
You said, why would he do that?
Why would your father choose to be single?
Look, see, my father is a doctor. Right? So it's not like what you were saying before, like we have these low standard people. Yeah. I've already grew up in, if you want to put like a high class lifestyle.
I'm saying, why would he want to be single? Why would your dad prefer to be single?
Because he's busy. His lifestyle doesn't really consist of a partner. And my father, growing up with him, is like he was always in and out the house. And it was more because of his career. So his career took over and that's what he focused on. my father wasn't really focused on his love life. He was focused on his job.
I'll tell you what actually happened. He can't find a suitable helpmate.
Exactly. That's
He
what I'm
can't find
saying.
a suitable helpmate.
Oh no, he lives with my youngest sister's mom. They've been together, but they're not married.
They're not married.
They're not
well,
married.
okay, so he has a woman. So, but
he has a woman, but
they're not
technically
married.
by law, he's still a single
and there's a
man.
reason for that, because the way that the laws are currently constructed, it doesn't promote marriage, right? You can literally financially
Lose everything.
grape a man based on his finances, so that there's a trust issue with that, right? I think, and this is what it all boils down to. Black men and black women no longer trust each other. We don't. You can tell by the way that when we're starting to dating, most women feel apprehensive because you're like, what's this guy's intentions? What's he going to do? And I understand why, because some people are weird. Some people are jerks, right? And some people don't have the wherewithal to even navigate a successful relationship, right? But the majority of us, unfortunately, are missing fathers. And that structure, that discipline, we need that. And sometimes even when fathers are in there, they don't explain how things are supposed to go. So the best thing that we can do for our children is to start to have those uncomfortable conversations. With my kids,
I'm grateful that my father was never missing.
You're right.
Yeah, so it's like,
I've had those uncomfortable conversations with my children earlier. I taught them about how drug use is. I taught them about how, sex between, like, you have to, because if not, the children in school are going to introduce to them without context.
Yep.
And it's uncomfortable and I hate it, but it's a necessary evil. And I think that that's a part of it. So my whole frame of mind is like, let's get to the root of the issue. Trust is one thing. We've dealt with a lot of trauma that we haven't dealt with. Therapy still has a stigma that is not good, right? We don't feel like we should go to therapy, particularly men, right? Some women will go, but not enough of us will go if needed.
What do you consider therapy?
What therapy looks like, it doesn't necessarily, it should be, it could be sitting down with a one-on-one person, and that's fine too, but it doesn't necessarily have to, it has to be something that helps you to get better in life. Whatever that looks like, where you can address issues and you can come out of it in a better space.
Can I make a suggestion?
Yeah.
You know what therapy should be for Black people especially? It should be what it's always been until we were dealing with the foreigners. And what it always was dealing with your elders. Your elders were the therapy. Counsel from your elders was therapy for our people for centuries.
I think that's a viable option. But
that's the best option.
How many times do you pull a coat? I do with any young man that I see, anybody, whether it be about finances, if I have more knowledge than you, I'm gonna help you. If it's about learning how to navigate relationships, of course I'm gonna tell you. Whatever it is that I think that I can help you in, I will do that. But I wanted to get back to your point, because I know that kind of struck a nerve, right? And I understand why. And I think it's the language barrier sometimes. And they definitely explained that we speak two different languages. His method is absolutely upfront. I'm going to give it to you raw. And a lot of people can appreciate it because it's just keeping it real. And sometimes it doesn't always feel good. But at the same time, I think there's room to say, all right, we have to understand how people receive things as well, right? So when you say, I don't date Black women, I get it. But when that comes out, it's like, damn, because not many other races would do that. I don't typically hear white men say, I don't date white women. I never hear a Latin man say, I don't date Latin women. I've never heard.
Why would they say that though? Why would they say that?
I dig it. But what I'm saying is that if we want to get to a certain space, if we really want to, then we try to speak that language. If you went over to...
I feel like each race has their set of craziness.
Right.
Regardless if it's Black, white, Spanish.
It's not just us.
What's a race?
It's not just us.
Hold on. What's a race?
But I'm saying like us. Like you're saying Black women.
Hold on. Let's define race. What is a race? If I look race up in the dictionary, what does the word race mean?
Where we're from.
No. Race means a competition where one individual or group is trying to outrun another. Okay, so there's an increment of measurement that's required, and it's competitive. It's someone's trying to get to some finish line before someone else. With that being said, If we're categorized in races, it's because we're literally being compared in some type of competition to one another. So when we're talking about economics, we're breaking down the teams based on ethnicity. Where are we looking at on that scale? Oh, that's right. We're in last goddamn place. Okay, now let's look at marriage. Where are we on that scale? Oh shit, what do you know? We're in last place. And you know who's behind black men? Black women. That's very telling. That's a very telling stat right there. Because that means that black women are less likely to get married than black men. So if we were looking for a marriage, the black men have more leverage than the black women in that conversation, which means that the black women would have to be willing to compromise and submit more to the demands and requests of the men because they have more optionality and they are getting married at a higher rate. And hold on, let me finish. On top of black men getting married at a higher rate than black women, commitment in marriage is gatekept by the men. That means that even more black men could be married if they wanted to, if it was more appealing to them, if maybe it had better laws. Whereas the black women, their lack of marriage is not, they don't have as much control over it as the men because they can't ask themselves to get married. They can't make the man marry them. So what I'm trying to say is the gap between black women that are accomplishing marriage and black men that are giving marriage is even wider than we have on record. So there needs to be negotiations in our community specifically because we are losing in all the categories, unfortunately. And black women will be quick to say, well, you need us to make black babies. Well, that's ridiculous because we don't. A black woman can have a baby with someone else and that baby is still black, both genetically as well as society's perception. And if a black man has a baby outside of the black community, guess what? That baby is also going to be black regardless, both genetically and as well as the perception of society, because our genetics are more dominant. Everyone else's genetics are recessive in comparison to ours. So technically speaking, we don't even need each other to reproduce, but we do need each other to sustain a functional community. And in order for community to work, there has to be structure just like any other system. And in that structure, what is it that you're proposing? That the men be under the women? Because the women don't even want that, but yet their behavior will only allow that. If you're saying that you're a dominant woman is what you're saying, you cannot use the word alpha because that's not what the term alpha means. In order for you to be an alpha male, that means you literally have to be beating other women. You would have to be outperforming them physically, mentally, financially, all these other areas. And then it still wouldn't work because that word isn't attributed to women being the best pick out of women. Do you understand what I'm trying to say?
I get what you're trying to say,
Right.
but it's like at the same time, it's like, okay, cool. Yeah, you're used to the perception, but it goes back to what you said, like the absence of their parents or wherever they're coming from. So it's like, yeah, you might have these women or these men. We're always going to keep circling around each other at the end of the day because the men, they're not looking towards marriage because what they grew up seeing.
No.
Or the women, they're not looking towards marriage because that's what they grew up seeing too.
Men will get married for the same reason that any human being, especially a male, would do anything else in life.
Yeah, but most black men, you don't see getting married anymore.
And I'm telling you why. It's not that complicated. Men are not getting married, not because they're nefarious, not because they're trying to make the community worse, not because they don't want to support women, not because they don't want to be fathers to their children. Men are not getting married in all groups and ethnic backgrounds in America because it's not advantageous. It's not a good investment. It's not an intelligent decision to make. It's horrible. If you compare marriage to anything else, you would quickly see this is stupid. If 70% of marriages are failing, right, within 5 years, and I compared that to flying planes.
Okay.
If I was to say, hey, bro, you travel for work? Oh, word. So that means you do the same job every year. It's like, yeah, so you've been doing this job for 5 years. You're going to be doing this job for like 5 years? Yeah, I'll probably be doing this job for more than 5 years. Ooh, did you know that after 5 years, 70% of planes start to crash? Are you going to still travel for work and get on planes? Come on, bro. If we were talking about business investments, hey, bro, 75% of the time, you're going to lose your money in that investment. Would I still invest in that stock?
No, I get it.
Like, come on, women got to be a little bit more realistic here. Men not getting married is real simple because it's not benefiting them. It's nothing but a risk. It's nothing but problematic.
But is your risk based on what, financials?
And then look, it's risk everywhere. First of all, men are losing their children. And I hate the fact that women act so ridiculous. Yo, this shit pisses me off so much. Women can't even simply just put themselves in a man's shoes for 30 seconds with the exact same scenario. If women knew that having children with a man meant that if you don't stay on this man's good graces, if this man does not favor you at any given time, he can take your fucking children. If that was the reality of it, would women be comfortable with having children? If they knew that if they didn't stay with this person and stay under their thumb, and that person decided that they didn't want to be in the relationship anymore, 80% of the time, they were going to lose their children. It was an 80% that you're going to lose your kids if your man decides he wants to break up with you. If that was the reality, would women be comfortable with having children?
No,
if someone could take it from them 80% of the time? And women act like that's not men's reality. That is men's reality.
You got something?
That is the reality. If me and you buy a car together, right? Let's say we buy a car. It's $30,000. Let's say we don't finance this. We don't lease it, none of that. We just buy this car. Let's say it's $30,000. I spend $15,000. You spend $15,000. I portrayed myself as a good driver. Like I acted like I was a good driver. Turns out I'm highly irresponsible. You know what I'm saying? That's seen sometimes. I forgot to wear my seatbelt. Sometimes I have a drink or two. Do you have the authority to now take that car from me? Deny me that car? Take both keys from of that car from me?
No.
Why?
It's both of our cars.
Oh, so when you have some
On a legal aspect.
So hold on. When you have pick me and you have how much chromosome and how much chromosome? How many chromosomes is from the mom? How much chromosomes from the dad?
You brought up pick me.
Because, no, this is the part that still blows my mind.
That's children for
is that the man, okay, the man, because that's where it's coming from. The women don't actually have any power, right? The man, the establishment, okay? Whatever you want to call the man, whoever the establishment is, that's who gave women the ability to take a man's kid from her and decide solely by herself what's best for the children and so on and so forth.
But that's you, because most men in other cases, and I have to stop you right there, because in most cases when, let's say, both of us lay down together, both of us had sex, both of us conceived those children. At the end of the day, let's say we break up. Most cases, the man ain't really fighting for them kids either way. The man will take up, people like, okay, well, no.
Wait, hold on, let her finish the thought.
Like in a lot of cases, like with us women, it's like, okay, we'll have a kid with this guy who we thought at the time when we lay down with them like they were a partner, we can go 50-50 on these kids. And then all of a sudden you have these children, you lay down with this person, and then when the breakup happens, there was never a conversation like, oh, well, let's split household, let the kids live with me full time. In most cases, the men get up and leave. Not by us kicking you out. You chose to walk out. Exactly. And then the women, we're the ones stuck with the responsibility of taking care of that kid.
I don't know.
So then when a woman goes to court, it's because you're like, well, I'm out here living my life. You figure out what to do with them kids. Not every man is fighting for them children the same way a mother fights for her kids.
Nope.
That's not the numbers.
All right, so look,
Nope.
I'm looking at them now.
Nope.
That's not the numbers.
But that's why in most cases when the court do
I've
stuff
seen
with
that.
child support,
Listen,
the court always favors
I got the numbers.
I've seen that. Hold on. I've seen that in my family, and I still disagree. My personal experience with that
the numbers.
It's been what you're saying, and I still disagree that
most men,
I just checked the numbers out.
I still disagree that that's the majority.
About 4% of men that file for custody. In some cases, that's what I'm seeing crazy numbers. There's nowhere that I just saw that says more than 20% actually file. So it's a fact that most men don't even file.
No,
I do think there's context.
That's a fact because it's context.
There's context.
Hold on. There's number one.
Let me get context.
Number one, you said this is your language. You said men that are willing to fight for the children, but fighting implies that someone is fighting you back, right? And no one is fighting the women on custody. So should they? No, just listen to what I'm trying to say.
But most men just get up and walk.
So listen to what I'm trying to say, man, because this is important. You can't just throw numbers out there and act like the numbers really prove a point when you have to understand where those numbers come from. It's like when women say there's a gender pay gap, therefore it's discrimination and it's misogyny and all this other stuff. It's like, no, because when you read the data and you understand where they get the numbers from,
it's not any type of discrimination. It's because the men are more qualified. They've been doing the jobs for longer. They work more overtime. They don't leave for maternity leave. They fight for raises and promotions. There's a whole bunch of reasons why men get paid more. It's not just simply because they have a penis. That wouldn't even make sense from a business standpoint. If you could pay women less to do the same job, every company would prefer to hire women. So in the same way that you're saying that men are supposed to fight for their kids, the mere fact that they have to fight is already a problem. They're kids. They should already be entitled to them. The woman is already entitled to the kids. So now it's an uphill battle for the man to even get to where he's considered equal with the mother. So there's a lot of guys who don't even bother doing that because they're not even confident that they would win, and they would end up getting bankrupt in the process. You think they're going to fight for free? They have to fight with lawyers.
Yeah, but even women at the same time, you don't sit there and go, you don't attack you to come be a father.
Hold on. How do you go to work and go to court at the same time? So if you're going back and forth to court, you're missing work. So you're missing money and you're having to pay money, and you still are most likely not to even get them. Not to even get.
Like, I'll give you a prime example because I can't talk about everybody else, but I'll give you a prime example. I was with the father of my kids for years.
Okay.
A good 6 years. I was with the father of my kids. When we broke up, there was never a conversation about the children.
Okay.
He just got up, he moved out, got a place for himself. And then I, at the time, because like you said, maternity leave, I was home with the children. There was never a conversation like, well, let me take the kids. I'm better suited because I make more money right now and this and this. No, he just got up and took care of himself and left me to fend for me and my children.
Oh, man.
So I never once, for the years that those boys were little, went to court for him or nothing. I reached out to him. Hey, do you want to see your kids? Hey, do you want to be a part of your kids' life? Hey,
Understood.
they're men. They need their dad. And I've reached out to my kid's father. I can't speak for other women, but never once took him to court. Never once fought him. I reached out to him asking him, do you want to be a part of their life?
Got it.
And in his case, he had other kids. But when he decided to move out, he has 4 kids in total. He got a 1-bedroom suited for himself.
Whose kids are older, though? Your kids with him?
No, my kids are the youngest.
Okay, but hold on. Why, when we talk to women about these topics, it never could ever be about the community and about generalities? Why is it with women, they can only see through the lens of me, my friends, my experiences? Because when we're having these conversations, the guys are never really talking about themselves, unless it's specifically about them.
No, but I've had male friends, and like I said, I grew up with a lot of men. I had male friends who sat there and they had other situations where they were actually good fathers in the sense of their kids' lives, and they've had to fight their kids' mother.
My point is, are you sure that's not the majority? Because they do the research.
Like, my research was different.
Black fathers are actually more involved.
No, but
and they have the uphill battle.
I can't talk about other people's experience because in my experience, my kid's father was never involved.
We get that. Now, for time's sake, we're going to be changing directions just now, right? Definitely some good dialogue here, but I want to change directions, right? So one thing that we understand is that we have some issues. Now, I want all the Black women who are watching to understand that if we didn't care about y'all, we wouldn't say anything. We would just abandon the situation and say, hell no. In most cases, we're addressing our gripes because we want to work. We want to work with you as Black women. We know that there's a certain type of connection that you just can't get outside. There's that certain type of understanding. We grew up within the same culture, right? And we would love to have children that look like us, right? With our beautiful Black women. So this is why we are so adamant about it, because we're watching our family structure go down the drain, right? And we need our fathers. Now, there's certain things that have to go into place because we're failing at it miserably. We're failing at it miserably. We do understand that there are some things that men need to work on. I understand that because women have to make concessions too, right? If the average earning is, in the 50s, and then you have to understand that, okay, when you're dealing with the Black man, on average, by and large, it is lower than the average. So there's certain things that us men, which I help to build men too, to get our stats up. But what I want both of you ladies to take your time and answer this particular question. Take as long as you need. I want you to know I want you to tell us, what is it that you love about Black men, and in your opinion, what are at least 3 things that you think could improve how we interact with each other? So just from your personal experiences, what has been happening? Not even just on dating apps, but in dating life. What do you think that we could have improved on? But I do want to hear what you love about us first.
You want to go first?
I know. Go ahead.
Worse, I love that they're strong. They're hardworking, and when they love really hard. I love that part about them.
Okay. Now what can we work on?
Consistency.
Break it down.
But their wording, sometimes they would say something and don't back it up. Not consistent with it, like in that sense. Honesty, just communication. Sometimes they don't know how to communicate, and when we try to communicate, sometimes it causes miscommunication. That could cause problems in the relationship as well, because I see that's majority of what our issue is communication, and that's one of the things that we really need to work on as a Black community is communication and understanding on both, and not just his point of view or her point of view, but just perspective of everybody's point of view. We all have a different point of view, but just to come together despite a different point of view and just try to make it work. That's my concept of things.
Okay. That's all you got for improvement in 9 months?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Your turn.
See, like me, like I lived in this country a lot longer than my cousin has.
Go ahead. You could give us how long. How long each of you been?
Been here about 31 years.
Okay. And
14,
15. Culture
14.
shock?
Yes, it was. Fuck, it was. It was definitely a culture shock because in Jamaica, the men are taught to be dominant, the men are taught to be providers, the men are taught to be the men, not, I don't know. It was a whole different culture shock.
See, like,
over here.
Okay.
culture-wise for us, what we grew up
We're
seeing
taught
was,
to be the woman. We're taught to be the providers. We're taught to be supportive. We're taught to be loving. We're taught to be motivated. We're taught to take care of the kids and still be a wife, still provide. So
us
different.
Yeah, like us as women, like in our culture, it was like we stood by our husbands no matter what.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Even if our husband was bad to us, we stood by them.
Mm-hmm.
If they were good to us, we stood by them.
Mhm.
We always had our man's back, and that's how we grew up culture-wise.
Mm-hmm.
So
Exactly.
us coming from Jamaica to America, it's different because women here are not that way. They're not built that way. They do clap back against our own Black men, and I have most of my friends are men. So it's like, in my case, it's like the women are not that supportive towards the Black men here. They're not that willing with the Black men here. And then we come from a culture where it's like we were taught we had to stand by our man no matter what. We don't break up with them. We don't leave them. We stay with them regardless of whatever.
I don't want to cut in. I don't want to cut in too much. I'm absolutely going to let you complete your thought, but information just came out. So I'll let you know, and you may know better than me, but maybe not. I don't know. In Jamaica, I can tell you, just like in Guyana, I can tell you, the culture has shifted within the last decade, particularly about the 15 years since you left.
Mhm.
That's right around when social media has struck.
Yeah.
Jamaica has the #1 paternity fraud right now. It's crazy. And that's a bad stat that I don't want to throw
In
out.
the,
But that's
in the
just to give you-
world, though.
Yes. I just
Yeah.
want to give you
Yeah,
A lot of
context
countries in
that
the world.
We're-
culture
But the
change.
thing
Yeah,
is,
it's
like,
different
culture
because, like
change.
I
They've
said,
taken
our
up Western
mindset
culture.
was from 15
Right.
years ago. It's
Right.
not now. So
Yeah.
we're still in that
So I think we're
mindset
all-
of how we grew up.
We're all in
Old
that
school
line.
parents. Always grandma,
Yeah.
mom, auntie, TT, cousin.
but you had a whole
It was
community.
a different
like,
mindset.
Back then,
Yeah.
it's like you
Understood.
had a community. It wasn't just
I think it took
She
y'all
was
a
by
little longer to
herself.
lose it, but it's still
because our
it's
family,
lost.
like our
Like the youth, the Generation Z, Generation Alpha, they cooked. I
Yeah,
watched the videos. I'll be seeing the videos.
this generation now of women that we see coming up behind us,
Yeah.
they're a lot
Yeah.
lost
Yeah.
Yeah.
than we were because we
Right.
grew up, like you said earlier,
It's a
with our
different-
elders.
It's a different it's a different definition for family. In America, family means mother and children. And maybe it used to mean mother, father, and children.
And
In
that's
other
what we grew up
countries,
seeing.
family means grandma, granddad, mom, dad, kids,
Then you had your
sisters,
neighbor.
aunts, uncles, nieces, cousins, goddad, godmom. Like, it's a much
so it's
bigger
like
picture.
you grew up like back then. We grew up where
Everybody.
your whole neighborhood was
It
raised.
takes a
Exactly.
village
It
to
took
raise you.
an actual village.
Don't
to
forget
raise
to give us what you love and hate about us.
So, me personally, I do love my black men.
Yeah.
At the end of the day,
Why?
Like I said, when
Why do you love us?
Well, what about them? Because
yeah.
because the black men don't know.
a lot of them don't know because, like you said, this generation that came up behind us, they're a little bit more lost because they have like an absence of culture of what it takes to, be a strong man.
But what do you love about them, though?
I love that when they are properly, I don't want to say molded because that's not the best phrase for it, but when they're properly educated, yes, they're very strong. They're very successful. In a lot of ways, they do provide. They do protect their women. In case, like, I've dated other races where they might beat on their women. Black men actually do protect their women in a lot of cases. But the generation that came up behind us, they're picking up, like you said, social media, where they're putting hands on their women now. But
well, I think he's looking for things that are exclusive to black men because all men are kind of expected to provide and protect.
Yeah, but not all men do it. But like I said,
I'm saying that's not really a cultural thing. I think he's looking for
like with
unique traits of black men that other cultures is not really there.
Because black men, a lot of cases, you guys are very smooth talking in a lot of fields, and if you guys applied it in the right direction, it would be good for you guys. You can apply that in a good career field. Not all black men, from what a lot of people see, wise like work fast food or work here, work there. A lot of them have that business mindset once they put that time and focus into it, and that's what a lot of people don't understand. We are taught to think outside of the box amongst a lot of other cultures. So it's like when you do come across like a very good black man, yes, he do think outside of the box. Yes, he is a provider. He is a protector. They are very loving. They're there.
Yeah.
But where does that come from, though?
Where they were taught.
Yeah, but who's teaching them that?
Their household. And that's why I said to you earlier, I was like, it is imperative for a mother and a father to both be there for a kid's life.
To be the father there. Or some man in the community, some man in the family.
And that's what I'm saying.
And black women are doing a horrible job at understanding that when they have boys, they cannot do the whole control thing. They can't do the overbearing thing. They have to, first of all, accept and admit to themselves that I cannot raise this boy by myself.
Oh, no, like I said to you earlier.
I see a lot of women in
I have kids, and I mentioned earlier, I did try my best to keep my kid's father around.
That's not what I'm saying. Hold on.
But it's not up to me if you can't be
let her just finish it.
Let me ask you a question.
Then I want you to come in afterward.
Do you agree or disagree that you can raise your sons on your own? Because I heard you saying things like, make sure they this and make sure they that. And I'm thinking in my head, do you really think that you can make sure that your sons are adjusted and prepared for this world as black men? You think that you can prepare them for the experience that is being a black man?
So in response to what you're saying, no, because when I had my kids and we broke up, yes, the first thing I came to him was like, hey, are you going to be here? Because your kids need you. At the end of the day, yes, I am their mother. I am going to be their provider. I am going to protect them. I'm going to love them. I'm going to nurture them to show them their softer side. But at the end of the day, they still need a man to direct them correctly. They need that strong foundation. And women are not built to give them that strong foundation that they need to be raised right. Never once did I say, my kids didn't need their father. My kids did need their father, but in our situation, he chose not to want to be there. I can't force you to be there at the end of the day. So if you don't want to be there, yes, there's going to be other black men within my community that's going to step in to make sure that those boys are going to become wonderful men. At the end of the day, you do need that strong background, that strong foundation. A kid needs their father just as much as they need their mother. As women, we're taught to be nurturing, loving, caring.
Exactly.
We teach you your softer side.
Exactly.
But to make sure you're strong, that you don't take no bullshit, that you step your best foot forward, and to make sure you show up every single time those things you learn from your dad.
Yes.
Or
Right.
a man
I want her to
get.
get to the part of what we need improvement on.
But
What could we do? And lay it all out. We could take it. So, go ahead.
But the improvement portion is when what I've seen, I can't talk for everybody, but the improvement portion of what I've seen is when they do have that absent parent for whatever reason, those men tend to be a little dysfunctional. They want to weigh their options. If they are interested in a woman, they still out there playing the field. Instead of taking that time to invest in that one person. She might be doing all the correct things that you want, regardless of what her race is. She might be doing what you want, but then you're out here still, well, let me see what Suzanne's doing, Sarah, Michelle, Becky, Megan. You're still dating all of them at the same time instead of trying to see what you can build with her. And that's where, in some cases, where you might lose somebody who could have been a potential partner for you. In other cases, it's like, well, we have too much access. And with social media, it's dangerous because there is plenty more access to a whole bunch of women now than it was back then. Back then, you actually had to go outside, meet somebody on the road or in a bar or at a library or somewhere in order for you to meet a partner.
Social interaction.
Here now, it's like, well, I'm going to go on Facebook. I'm going to go on TikTok. I'm going to keep on scrolling. Oh, I like her. I'm going to slide up on her DMs. Where it's more faster access now. And I feel like with this whole dating apps, it's like, okay, swipe left if you don't want them, swipe right if you want them. And people are just using it as a way to get quick access to sex versus, oh, let me read her profile, see what she's about. Let's see if there's a connection. Let me try to see if there's something to build.
And what do you
on.
think the female side of that is? Remember, I told you there is an equal to
We
every
about to get to it.
grievance.
I'm just make sure she got all her grievances out, and then me and you are going to address that part.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Like today, it's a quicker access for people. Like when you contacted me, and I even told you, I was like, hey, look, I was like, I don't know if I'm the perfect person because I'm not really dating at the current moment. Because at the end of the day, it's like I'm a little older. I'm not trying to sit there all day swiping left and right on people. I like natural reaction. Like I want to go out, meet people the old school, natural way and have conversations. Today, people don't know how to hold a conversation. People don't know how to present themselves. And then it's like you can talk online, but then when you meet them face to face, the conversation is completely dead. It's like...
Yeah, but you're not dating young boys anyway. So they still going to be from the, from different generations.
But you'll be surprised because they're so used to, they have so much quick access to everything. And then what makes it even worse is because you have these women that are out there portraying this sexual being online where they think that's everything that's out there.
I disagree, man. I think right now women have an advantage.
All your grievances? Is that everything?
Yeah, you might think that all women have an advantage.
I think women.
Like me, there's hardly anything on my social media. Like I post my gym stuff.
I think women and guys right now have an advantage because things have gotten so bad that the bar is set so low.
And that's the problem. The bar is set so low.
No, that's not a problem. It's, again, everything is perception. Perceive it, right? So right now, China could kill the car market in America because they're easily making cars that are far superior for literally half the price. So our government has to prevent those cars to come in order to maintain the market that we have. The point I'm making is there's no embargo on dating. So if Black women wanted to get ahead, all they would have to do is just behave 20 to 60% better than the average Black woman. That's all they would have to do. It's that goddamn simple, but they're not. And I know it's that simple because I talk to men all the damn time, and I myself is a man. And what catches my attention is when women just simply behave a tier better than their peers. And it's sad because it's not even stuff that's like so great or so special. It's just so much better than what everyone else is doing. But it's actually basic stuff that should be a given anyway. Remember, we were talking about this in the car the other day. Just a chick texting me and saying, and not making it about her and saying, hey, what's up? How's the content going and stuff like that and whatever. Like just checking up on me. Whereas other chicks, like they respond hours later, a day later, they respond whenever they feel like. You get what I'm trying to say? Being on time, not flaking. You know what I'm saying? Keeping some type of commitment, making a little bit, right? Making a little bit of extra effort. Yeah, but see, don't do that. Please, sis, don't do that. Because the problem with doing that is it's the reason why no progress is being made. because the men are trying to do what they're supposed to, which is lead. Not all men, but at least some men or whatever are trying to do what they're supposed to do and lead. And what happened is the women don't follow, they deflect. They start talking about all the things that men are doing wrong. It's like, sis, we're trying to move forward. We're trying to negotiate here. You want this, okay? The guys want this. Let's negotiate. I'll give you this if you give me that. But if you keep telling me about who did who wrong back then, back when, we're not going to get anywhere. The point is the women are not complying. This is not me blaming it on women. This is me calling it for what it is because I'm a problem solver. I solve problems. I'm extremely good at that. Anybody that knows me, they can call me up, tell me their situation. I'll give them some insight and some advice that is probably going to work for them. Phenomenal. So I have to first address where is there a break in the chain, in the system. And I'm seeing it. I'll give you an example. What happens when I run into good women? A lot of times I got to leave them alone. You see what I'm saying? I was talking to my little brother about this. He's not little, but he's my younger brother. And we were laughing at how every once in a while you bump into a good girl. Like she's actually a good girl, like a good woman. And then you're like, oh, fuck, I can't even fuck with this girl. Wow. I can't even fuck her life up right now. Oh, you see what I'm saying? Because I don't deserve her. I don't deserve this chick, right? Or it might not even be I don't deserve this chick. It's I'm not ready yet. Like I'm not ready to do what I need to be doing. So women will sit here and be like, they're looking at social media and they're thinking, well, the girls with the BBLs, the girls that are thoughts, the girls that are doing this, and that, they're getting all the likes, they're getting all the attention. But again, they're misinterpreting male behavior, which women are doing like 99.9% of the time. They misinterpret everything we do and everything we say. It's not that these guys are giving these women more attention because that's what they like and that's what they want and that's what they're going to wife and that's what they're going to marry.
Question. How many times have you communicated that to women that you weren't ready? That I'm over here playing the field right now.
No. What I'll do is I probably won't communicate that to them. I will put them in a situation where they eliminate me.
That's gaslighting.
No, it's not. Because I have to look at the results. If I'm telling women what's most important is the results. If you're not getting the results you want, you got to try another approach. Now, let's say I was to do what you think is the right thing to do. And I was to tell her, hey, baby, I'm not ready yet for that. I'm not going to give you this commitment. I'm not going to, you know what she would do? She would hold on. She would wait. You see what I'm trying to say?
No. Because you can articulate it in such a way where you say, look, I'm really don't deserve you right now. I'm out here doing what I do, and you should probably move on. And then this is the community.
They're not gonna do what they should do. They're not. They're gonna attracted to that. Hold on. They're gonna attracted to that.
Hold on. No. Communication thing that the women are talking about. What you described as gaslighting. You're literally you're sabotaging a relationship.
No, I'm getting the result that I know is best for her. What I'm doing is protecting her. Because she's going to be an emotional thinker.
No, you didn't communicate.
No, because if I say that, she's going to still want to do something.
She doesn't know what to do with that.
She'll fuck around.
She sees that I did everything right. I tried it. Right.
No, I tried it.
And now I got screwed anyway.
Listen, Smooth, you and I both know women have a habit of thinking they can change me. They got a habit of thinking. They got a habit of somehow thinking their vagina is magical and he's going to become a good guy after me.
There's whatever she does with the information after you've explained it to her in plain English is up to her. If she doesn't interpret it right,
I'm telling you what they do.
Still did the right thing.
Can I tell you what they
do?
But
she can learn.
Can I tell you what they usually do when you say that?
If you just tell her what you want.
Like, you telling me that she's going to interpret gaslighting better than the truth?
That's going to make it even worse.
No, I think if
I tell her, hey, I want a wife, I want family, I want this, she's going to be like, that's it. And I'm like, oh, but I'm not ready yet. She's like, no, it's okay.
No. You don't even tell her that. You don't tell her.
I'm telling you what's going to happen. I've tried this many times.
I don't deserve you right now.
Look, I don't deserve you right now.
No. I'm smashing.
Bro, I've tried this many times. What's gonna happen
is you're not the type of girl who I want to ruin. What's wrong with it? Just how you're articulating it right here for everybody to hear. You would explain it to her the same way.
Y'all think I didn't try this before?
If you don't, listen. You could live with those results because you did the right thing. If she misinterprets it, that is her fault.
Then
I'll agree.
Yeah. Smooth. How many times has a guy told a woman, hey, I'm just having a good time. I just want to have casual.
But you have to cut her off.
No, listen what I said. How many times have a guy tried that approach and the woman said, no, that's fine. Let's have a good time. And then later on, she's catching feelings. Where's this going?
That's the same thing as the friend zone inverted.
Yeah.
I understand that. But this is what I'm trying to say. The point I'm trying to make is, as my job, right? It's my job. I'm supposed to be protecting. I'm supposed to be providing. Sometimes you got to protect women from themselves. Sometimes you got to protect women from you. So
same way he said. If you
so listen what I'm trying to say. So this is what I'm trying to say. I'm doing both with one stone, because if I be honest and be like this, what's going to happen is she is going to still want to do X, Y, and Z. She's going to convince herself as well as me that this is fine, this is cool. And then ultimately she's going to end up getting hurt. So as my job to protect her, I have to do it by any means necessary, right? So if I know that the fastest way to get to the result of her getting off of her mind, I know if it's better to say, hey, you know, blah, 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 blah. She'd be like, oh, fuck you, you're an asshole. Blah, blah. That's better than me saying, I do want to be with you. I do appreciate all these qualities about you, but I'm not ready now.
No.
Having women wait is wrong because women's clock is different than men's.
Yeah,
so having
but like
women wait is
I don't
wrong.
think you should have her wait, to be honest.
Not to say have her wait, but like you said, what you were saying earlier, like just tell her the truth straight from the rip. Like, you know,
Exactly.
I believe you're a good woman, but right now I'm just smashing and dashing. I don't want to ruin you right now.
No, I'm not smashing and dashing.
No, I'm just saying. But from what you were
not
saying,
ready
like
to-
you're just upfront and just telling her from the jump what it really
Women
is.
romanticize everything. I'm telling you, if you come
But if
in like that,
like I said,
she's gonna start thinking he's
Look,
the one.
I get it. If they make those type of decisions, they deserve whatever they get.
I don't want
But
them
if
to
you
get
are-
that though. I don't want them to get that.
No, but
it's
they-
not good.
they
I don't want them to
But
get
then they
it.
should have
They
understood
shouldn't.
what
If
you
they
told
have-
them.
Yeah, if they have common
The
sense.
point that I was trying to make is this is why a lot of guys deal with thoughts. So this is
and I
why a
get
lot
it.
of guys
No.
deal with 305.
But if she's a
because they allow us to be
Man,
pieces of shit.
We could do.
They allow us to not have to.
But like you said, if you need a
to
real
be
good
good,
woman,
to
she's
be
not going
accountable.
to. She's gonna be like, okay, well, at least you know you were honest with me, and you know maybe when things change, if we're meant to be, we'll revisit each other.
Yeah, but I don't
I
want
think
her
it's-
holding on to that fairy tale.
I think it's irresponsible.
No, because you're gonna keep going out
I
there
think it's
dating, and she's gonna keep
irresponsible
going out there dating.
for us to
Well,
take those
I
type
can't
of
stop
women
that.
and still deal with them because we would be perpetuating the issue.
We be
in the first
slut
place.
makers.
Right. We
I don't wanna be a
we
slut
wanna-
maker.
We don't want to do that. There are women that decide that that's what they want to do, casual, and if that's what you want, casual sex, then you go ahead and you
All
deal with
women
those
start
women
off
that
good.
agree
All
with
women
it.
start off good.
But
By definition, because they start off pure. So
I
some
think
dude that
the
corrupted.
the truth is never, honesty is always the best policy, right?
Yeah.
Whatever that looks like.
Always.
If
Always.
we can teach women
Women can't
English.
handle the truth 9
we
times
can
out of 10.
teach
What are you
women
talking about?
English if we actually tell them, right? Even though women do operate sometimes off of emotion, at some point they're going to sit with themselves, they'll have their alone time, and even they might have talked with their homegirls. What did he say? He told me that he just wanted to smash other women. They're gonna be like, what you mean? He told you. Sometimes they will check each
Yeah.
other.
They check with their friends.
They won't let a man hold them accountable, but they'll let
Yeah.
their girlfriends hold them accountable.
Exactly.
And if your girlfriend told you, hey, he just said he wanted to hit, he's doing casual sex right now,
Mhm.
and that I probably should.
They're gonna say I'm a horrible person anyway.
and that's fine.
Yeah, but so it's better for me to tell her I'm a horrible person so that she leave me the hell.
What you tell her first, and then
No, but then
she's gonna interpret that with her whoever her
If a
support
guy told
system
me off
is.
the back, like, okay, look, I'm like, listen here, sis, I'm probably gonna fuck your head up because I'm just sleeping around right now. Me,
A lot of
like I said, I'm gonna call up. Like,
I don't
since
still
you
want to
said-
experience that.
I'm going to call my girlfriends and tell them like, well, he said this, and then my friends, like you said, are going to hold me accountable. Like, well, maybe you should just leave him alone. And at that point, it's like if you keep pursuing me afterwards, and I, keep falling for it, then at the same, I'm held accountable for whatever happens to me after that.
Mhm.
But if I'm just like, okay, well, I'm going to fall back, maybe months down the line or whatever, years or whenever you're ready, if we do happen to cross paths again, maybe you are changed and you'll let me know that you have. And there's cases where that has happened
he'll
too.
come and find you when he's ready.
Yeah, and he'll come and
Yeah,
find
he'll
you.
come and find you when he's
if
ready.
you're still around.
If he's
But
still
we
around.
have to
Or
understand
if, you,
that
no,
we
if the
have
girl's still available.
if not, then we gotta
Then
charge
you
into
just
the
take
game.
the L for it.
We charge into the game, and we'll know. Like, oh,
Yeah,
well,
but what's harder to replace? You see what I'm
the
saying?
great girl,
Wife or
if
husband?
if that's the case, then men should probably lock that down if she's worth all that, right?
But
Honestly.
some men take a little bit longer. Not all of them, but some men, like you said, some
Want to
men.
do it right.
Well,
do
I'm
it right.
going
It
to tell you
takes time.
something. I'm going to tell you something. Women don't use half. Do you know how they say humans use about 10% of their brain? Women use about 10% of their power. Like, you have such a strong power that you
yeah.
don't understand. Like, your femininity is the strongest thing. A lot of times women
Mhm.
tap into their masculine energy to take charge of situations. You can actually take charge of a man. You can have him
More
do
with the feminine
whatever it is that you want him to do by just being feminine, by just being supportive, by sometimes thinking for him, not where you're telling him what he needs to do, but just being like, you know what? Damn, this dude he going hard with these. I'm about to set him up a PowerPoint. I'm gonna make his life easier. This dude being the gym heavy, I'm gonna find the illest protein shake that I can make for this brother. I'm gonna have like 3 of them sitting ready so he could just grab them before he goes out the door. Those type of things, when he come in, he's gonna tell you, like, you'll see he might be nursing his hip or his back or his foot. Hit that when he come home. Don't just be proactive about it, right?
Mm-hmm.
When you start pouring into a man like that, he needs you. Those type of things he becomes dependent on, and he's going to do everything in his power to protect that. I promise you.
I know that.
Most-
I know that it's
most
true
men-
because so many successful men have
most
told me
men-
that they
most
went
men are
back
gonna
to
do
a
that.
woman because
And
of
I'm
that.
not going to say that every man
Not
is going
every
to do it.
man.
We know not every
every
man.
man.
But I'm saying,
So, 'cause if,
by and
like you
large,
said, like-
when a man needs you, if you whatever, I'm gonna be honest with y'all. If your man didn't do that for you, he didn't need you. You need to make this man need you.
Mhm.
If you
Or perceive that he needs you.
supporting, you weren't supporting what it was that you were supposed to. You were supposed, and this is not always right, but in general, if you were supporting what that man actually needs, and you can ask him, because we'll be honest, and sometimes you just got to watch, because women could tap into that private investigator when they think he's cheating.
Yeah, but they wasted on
If
that.
y'all take that
They wasted
same
on that.
energy
Yeah.
into figuring out
He wouldn't cheat in the
being
first
a step
place.
ahead of this man into what it is he needs versus what it is that's got him chasing these other girls.
It's not what he asks
over.
for. It's what
It's
he needs.
over. Find out what that man needs.
No, you
Tap
can always,
into
like,
it.
if a woman
Once he
took the
asks,
time-
once he got to ask, you already.
I
No,
think
like
y'all
a
tap
woman,
into
like
it.
you said, like
Would be good.
you said, like you could tap into it, but like a woman who actually, like listens. But
Yeah.
well, what happened in your
Listen,
previous
well-
relationships that caused it to fail? Like, what was the miscommunication there? At that point, that kind of information is helpful for a woman to be like, well, she wasn't this, or she didn't do that, or this was lacking, or this was missing. Then hopefully the woman takes that knowledge and be like, well, I can give you this, or I can't. And then at that point, on her best interest, like you said, you could tap
You
into
better
it.
learn.
No, but I'm saying, like, but if she really wants that man and stuff like that, it's like, this is where asking him questions come into play. It's like, if I'm dating you and I want to keep
You don't gotta ask though. With men, you don't have to ask.
No.
Men, you just have to observe.
Yeah, you could observe and watch, but at
With
the same
women,
time,
you gotta ask. But
over time, like, well, me, I'm a little bit more quiet. Like, me talking about my past or whatever, I'm not bringing my past situation to a new situation.
Okay.
Like, I'm not bringing my past
that's
with
not
me.
that's not your choice though.
No, but I'm saying, like,
That's in
I'm
the
not going to sit
That's in the subconscious.
No, but if you sit here, you ask me about it, yes, I'm going to answer your questions. I'm not going to just, brush you off about the whole situation. But at the same time, I do ask men, what happened with your last relationship? Like, what failed, or what was she lacking? What could she have done better? To know, what was there and what could be needed or what was missed. And at that point, if I'm, like you said, I got your protein shake ready, I got your dinner made, like I cook your breakfast when you woke up in the morning, I brought it to you, or whatever the case may be, little simple things. He is going to be receptacle to those little small
That's
things.
not really necessary though, because he could be in a completely different place in his life currently than he was in his last relationship. What he needs and would appreciate and value now could look nothing like what it was back then. And if I'm being really honest, a lot of times what men needed back then, they definitely don't need now, because they've already learned how to adjust. They've already learned how to adjust because they didn't get it. Because we're not like women in the sense that we need to be filled. Women need to be filled regardless. Men actually have the ability to take care of those things for themselves anyway. The woman coming into the picture is not a need thing. It's an enhancement thing. That's why women are the helpmate. It's not that he couldn't have done it without her. It's that she helps him to do it better, faster, and more efficiently. Whereas women, without the man, the things that the man is bringing, they're just not getting done, or she's going to have to do it herself, which throws her out of her natural position, which is going to make her resentful anyway. There's so many women today that are super, super resentful, disagreeable, and unpleasant, and they don't even know why. They don't even realize it's because you have spent more time of your life not having a man than having a man, because your childhood was fatherless, and then your adulthood, you didn't keep a consistent man that put you under leadership. And they don't even realize that it's affecting them to that degree, their quality of life, And then they pride themselves on being independent and this and that and that. It's like, sis, that's what's making you miserable. That's what's making you miserable, bitch. Is that you're independent?
Like me, I'm not miserable.
I got one more thing I want to ask y'all. As you've grown older, as far as dating, do you feel like you try more or less?
Like more as in like,
Do you try harder? Like how you date now, do you pour more into a man, or are you apprehensive? Do you wait and make him earn it? Because I know in the beginning, when you had your first, you probably poured in and did everything, went into it in good faith, and did everything that you possibly can. Do you think that as you've grown older and have had, maybe tumultuous relationships or heartbreak, do you think that you try harder or you try less?
I still keep saying, like, in my case, like, I try harder. I don't judge the next guy.
Initially?
No.
Initially?
Yeah, I'll
You'll
talk
make
to
him earn
you.
it?
No, I'll talk to you and see, like I said, see where the conversation goes. And if it's something that, like I said, doesn't work out for me, yeah, I'll let you know off the back, this is not going to work. But if it is something I can see that it's worth pushing forward, yes, I do make you earn it. And then at the same time, like, I am going to put my best foot forward in that situation. I am going to be there and be supportive and be around and be that person for you. But I'm not going to hold you to whatever I've been through.
Okay. What do you got for that?
I'm practically the same as my cousin, like Krystle group.
So you try hard?
Yeah.
Like right in the beginning, you're not apprehensive? You're not worried about what this guy is going to do with that or how he's going to perceive?
With me, I've always been like I would say nurturing. I've always had that motherly love. I've always going off the mindset of everybody's not the same. I always try to give people the benefit of the doubt until you show your ass. That's pretty much how I am.
Okay, benefit
like
of the doubt is good.
Black and white.
I'll be honest with you. Most women don't. I don't know if your peers have similar stories.
Well, it depends on their age.
Because no, I think that the age and experience for women in general, men too, in general, make them apprehensive. Like you already know, like just with the dating apps per se, right? And I know y'all like to meet people in real life, which is better in my opinion. You can smell them, you can see how their energy is. And so you can project anything online. You can alter pictures. You can get any
catfish,
any AI program to write your the perfect story to hit the algorithm. So that the real life is better. But what I've seen is that the trauma from different relationships, maybe they had a dude who was abusive, or maybe they had a dude who may have abused some of the privileges that the woman has offered. Women are generally worse when it comes to dating as they grow older. And I think that's a mistake that most women make, because if you're thinking about it, when you talk about male attraction and stuff like that, and women get further in their career, it changes your mentality. You men become like an accessory. You're like, well, I don't really need a man. I've been holding it down. So when you lose that sense of need for a man and it becomes like an accessory, then you obviously can't treat it with that same energy that you would for a man that you feel like you need, right? If you feel like I need that part of it. So it's like when you do that, that's one part of it. And then, father time, take it away. In most cases, right? We feel like black don't crack, and I get it. But regardless of what, you can't offer the same amount of children as a 25-year-old would naturally. And sometimes women that get older are more apprehensive. They're like, well, he got to have this. I'm in a different place. He needs to be way more qualified. So your qualifications are going up, while men's attraction to women are generally going lower at the same time. And I don't blame you for having qualifications that are high and learning, but the part of it is you have to try way harder. You have to try way harder. And I get it. I think this goes to your vetting process, and you have to understand what didn't work for you. A lot of times women don't understand what didn't work for them. They'll be attracted to the same type of thing, and then we're literally
in the same cycle.
Right. Again. We're literally going for insanity, right? We're chasing the same type of dudes. Whatever type you had, you have to kind of sometimes erase that. Sometimes you just gotta wipe that out, because it's not gonna go in your favor. There were certain things that you were attracted to. You got to understand that what you're attracted to and what all the women from 18 to all the way up
to the left.
they're attracted to as well.
Mhm.
And if they're all attracted to that, then the competition is so great, and there's so few men that actually fall into that you have to adjust your filters. If you're not getting great results, then at some point you can't just say all men are assholes. You have to say, you know what, I might have to make a couple of concessions here. I know I wanted a dude that was tall as hell, but let me see what some of these 5'9" dudes are still. You know what? Let me see what some of these, maybe you don't want to go to 50,000 as the average. Okay, I get it. Well, how about these 60,000 dudes? Because I'm making enough to sustain myself.
Or you can keep the same.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like,
They can keep the same thing.
and then you start to worry about, does this guy care about me? Does this guy, is he willing to pour into me? Will he be a great father? Will he be a great example? Does he express love in a way that I understand? Right? And those are the type of things that we have to prioritize and put the aesthetics and on the back burner. But men and women alike, put the aesthetics first. That's the barrier to entry. So I'll give you a perfect example. I'm a car guy. I like manual transmissions only. I have only driven manual transmissions for the better part of 25 years, right? So what I have to understand about that is I've eliminated 97% of all cars first. All cars. I can never own a minivan. There's like the Wrangler and the Bronco that I can own if I wanted an SUV. They're the only ones that make manual. And most sedans are gone. Everybody's using SUVs. So it's like I've eliminated 97% before I can even pick a car. If there's other things like amenities and all of this and that, there's only like 10 kinds of cars that I could buy right now. And I'm gonna just have to keep them in rotation because I refuse to drive on an automatic. But I understand that. And I know that I have to make many concessions now. Concessions on technology, concessions on certain brands that I can't touch just because I refuse to drive an automatic transmission. So when you start to put all these barriers to entry beforehand, you're eliminating so many people and you're being unfair to yourself. You're actually doing yourself a disservice. So what I want women to do is to recalibrate. I want you to be, they say date with intention, but I want you to be extremely logical about it. And I understand that women are not known to have logic, reason, Pro Tools, Fruity Loops, any of that. But what I want y'all to start doing is to really approach the situation in a way where you're like, you know what? These are my top priorities, right? All of y'all smart as hell right now. Y'all know how to build a PowerPoint. Y'all know how to do anything like that. I want y'all to start making charts, and I want you to be extremely intentional about it. I want y'all to start taking a look and say, this is what matters to me the most. And emotionally, what matters is the most to women, right? How a person makes you feel. So if that's the case, then start getting these guys with great characters, these guys that will be great fathers, these guys that are loving, these guys that have that nurturing effect, right? Why not put that on the forefront? And then you start picking at the aesthetics and stuff like that. But I want y'all to recalibrate. Look for those first, because we have to make some concessions because there just isn't that abundance of males available. You see them on the algorithm and stuff, but those guys that y'all pay attention to, it's so lopsided. I don't even know if y'all know about the dating game. Like y'all might I've looked at women's profiles. They've showed me, and I've seen women with up to 300 matches or messages, just message, whatever, depending on the platform. And when I look to guys, for your 300, the average man will have like 2. A dude like, and we'll say Ayindei, pause. He's a very attractive man. His hits he can't compare to either one of yours. The top 10% male can't compete with the average woman as far as matches. I don't know if y'all ever understood that. Our matches,
but we still have more options than them, though.
It's no,
we still have more
not in
options
general,
than
not men in general.
No, hold on.
The top 10%.
No,
absolutely.
It's what you consider an option. Women, what you just described, that's not actual options for them, for a couple of reasons. Number one, they're not attracted to 90% of those guys, if not more. So it's just really noise, right? So it becomes irritating for them because it's just noise. They have to look through this pool of shit they don't want for something they maybe want. And then the maybe that they want, he's not looking at them as something that's a top option. So he's not even an option because what they're looking for is commitment. And he's not considering that at all. He might just be considering sleeping with them. So women can have 100 matches, 150 matches, and literally have 0 options. Because the guys that would give them commitment in the list that they want, they wouldn't even consider that guy. He's an absolute no. And then the few guys that they do think are attractive enough to be an option for them, that guy, they are absolutely not an option for him. He's like, no, I definitely wouldn't be committing to her and bringing that into my life. You see what I'm trying to say?
Right.
So women actually have far fewer options than men in all actuality. And what they have is an overabundance of perceived options.
Right.
Now, the guys, on the other hand, they might only have 15 matches or 20 matches, but here's the thing. They didn't swipe on a chick that they're not interested at all. That's number one. Now, maybe she's maybe not the best looking or whatever, but I guarantee you if she was willing to behave to 75, 80, 85% of the way they want her to behave, they could be coerced, or the guy would consider wifing her and being in this long-term commitment with her because she behaves better than the women that look better than her. There's plenty of guys, if not most guys, are willing to go down a couple of notches in looks, to go up a couple of notches in, performance and looks. And then also, the man always has the optionality of just simply working harder, making better decisions, better investments, and incurring more money, which would make those women that were kind of on the fence about him say, yeah, this guy's winning me over. So I actually am a lot more hopeful for guys than women. A lot of the guys, I deal with guys all the time on consults and stuff, and when they tell me where they see themselves, it's always far lower than where they actually are, right? These guys have a really horrible time with self-esteem in the dating market. They don't realize how valuable they are or how much advantages and opportunities they actually have in the dating market because they're too busy listening to what women say and not actually paying attention to how women behave. And then the women are the opposite. When you let them talk about where they are in the market, they put themselves way up here. It's like, sis, you're nowhere near up there in the market. And if you say that to them, you're talking down on me, you're belittling me, it's just like, fuck. I'm trying to advise you here.
I'm going to put the young ladies on game. What app are y'all using? What platform do y'all use or have you used? What was the latest one you have used?
Facebook dating.
Okay.
Same, but
Facebook dating. Are they do they give you paragraphs? I mean, or you can see that before? Like
yeah.
You can just,
yeah.
All right, this is what I want y'all to do. F the pictures. Go right and see the paragraphs first.
That's what we do.
Yeah.
Y'all do.
That's
y'all
what
already
he's not
skip the
getting.
pictures.
That's
Yeah, I don't
what he's not getting. That's what I'm trying to say.
What do you mean I'm not getting?
All right. No. Okay.
What do you mean? What I'm not?
So y'all go for the paragraphs
Hold
first?
on. What am I not getting?
like if you come across a good woman, yeah, in some cases, like you said, they might just be looking at pictures. They might be swiping left, swiping right. Me, like I'm reading the profile.
Yeah,
Okay.
we're reading the
What is-
profile.
what-
we're
what-
looking
what-
at
hold on,
how they
hold on,
behave.
hold on,
hold on,
We're
hold on,
seeing
hold on.
how they carry on.
What am I not
you know.
getting?
Well, not to put this out there, but like for example, like we met through Facebook dating,
Okay.
and I read his profile. I was attracted to his profile.
What did it say?
Yeah. What did it say?
Well, it's been so long, but I'm saying like initially,
It's hardly nothing in my profile, bro.
no, but I'm saying like
I don't feel in that shit.
yeah, but in like cases like
Did
me,
you
like
just give out cat?
Yeah, I don't fill out that shit. That's why I'm like, what's in the profile?
You don't fill out the profile.
I'll show it to you right now. It's nothing.
Oh.
well, I know what I'm saying, but initially like you said, initial loss is attraction, and then after that, it's like, well, we
and
had
this is what I was getting-
conversation.
Nope, time out. Nope. You just gave out cat. This is what we're going to do. We're going to go right to the paragraphs. You didn't start there. See that? And that's the whole thing. You looked there, and then you had conversations. But see, what I'm saying is that you've eliminated a lot of great men first. Right? You had to, because you went for the attraction first. He said he don't even fill his profile out. So you didn't go
I
by
would say-
Do you know what she would have to do?
You went by his picture.
Yeah, but what she would have to do to vet these guys, bro, she would have to go on a date with each and every one of these.
No, she don't.
Yes.
No, she
because how is she gonna know? How is she gonna know they're great
I
men?
think that people should have conversations before you go on your first date.
Even
I
that
think
would be exhausting.
I
though.
think-
Even that would be
It
exhausting.
could be.
The amount of matches that women
Well,
have.
Guess what? Is going to school exhausting?
What I'm trying to say,
Yeah, but we go there.
Listen, what I'm trying to say is they are going to narrow it down the best way that they see fit.
And I'm trying to do,
and they're going to look at the guys and decide, because this is the thing, women are putting what they want and what they desire before what it is that they actually need, what's practical and what's sustainable.
See, I'll put it out there in my profile.
Nobody's reading your profile.
And they're never going to do otherwise, my guy.
But there's no set.
And they're never going to do otherwise.
On my profile. It's just
understood. But guess what? Men don't read profiles. You know why they don't read profiles? Because for us, it really would be wicked, because we're lucky to get 0.5% of matches. There's people who've done 1 million. There's a dude, he was in Europe, right? He did like over 1 million swipes, and he got like 3 dates out of it, period. 1 million.
Yeah, but he needs to address his actual profile is what I'm trying to say.
So he needs to address his actual
profile.
He didn't optimize his profile.
Right.
What I'm saying is that even if 1 million, he should have got something. You know what I'm saying? What I'm saying is that our matches, the point I'm illustrating,
that's also how
is that our matches are very low. So we can't invest reading each and every one of your profiles. We have to play the numbers. So anybody who is aesthetically there, we hit. After you, if you match with us, we will read your profile before you talk.
We'll match. We'll read the profile after you responded.
After you responded,
then we'll read the fucking profile.
After you responded, now we'll read your profile before we get at you, if we're responsible, right? And I think that a good portion of men probably, who knows? Y'all would be able to tell me better than I can tell you. But what I will tell you is that most men will not read the profile before they swipe, because it's just not efficient, because of our take rate is so low. It would take us hours and hours and hours to read all these. And then you respond to them and they'll never hit you back.
Self-description is not
less than
accurate
1%
anyway.
hit you back. For the average person, you were not getting no burn.
Guys, do not read their profile.
So we can't. Now, women, you can, because whoever you match with, they're at least going to get back to you, look at you. Most people you match with, do y'all get a decent take rate? Don't lie.
See me, I haven't been on the apps in like forever.
But when
so
you remember, like a lot of people you match with, okay, yeah, I remember hitting him. Like you start to get these, you'll get some type of burn just as a female.
Of course.
It's undeniable. So what I'm saying is you can invest the time. Just go for the paragraphs. I like this one. Now, so you go in there and then you go to the picture. Okay.
Stop using dating apps altogether.
But I'm going to tell you, start with that. And listen, I understand.
Dating apps are useless for women.
I'm not saying don't use it, but if you're going to use it, this is how you do it. I think in person is great, but then that brings me to another conversation where I want each of you to say where you are placing yourselves. There's a thing, I know O'Shea said, a strategic placement, right? How are you positioning yourself to meet the types of men that you want? Do you even know where they are? Where are these men? Where do you go to source men? And then I want you to answer next. Where do you go to source men?
Like currently right now, because transitioning, so it's like I haven't gone anywhere to meet any men. So when you had asked me, I was like, I don't know if I'm perfect because I'm not dating. Or
when you were dating, where were you going to source men?
Well, I was off the market for years, so it was like I didn't even know.
You never sourced a man. You let whatever come to you.
No, so prior to my ex, I went out naturally. Went out, I was in like restaurants, lounges. That's how I used to meet people. And then
what kind of lounges?
Like it depends. Like some restaurants they like in New York City because I lived closer to New York. So it was like the lounges there's more like sit down eating like type of restaurants. You do meet people there casually. You'll be there with a friend eating food and a man will approach you. Then you can have a conversation with them from there. Or when I've traveled, people approach you. So that's how I've met men throughout my career and like my life. But then you get in a relationship, you've been off the market for years, then you come back and it's like, oh, everybody's like, well, go to the apps.
Yeah.
I tried it, did not like it.
Okay, time out.
Hold on, let her respond and then we gonna get on though.
Like
everyone?
My girlfriends who were single.
Girlfriends that have husbands?
No, some of them are in a long term.
Why you listen to them?
No, my girlfriends who have.
No, we gonna
so like
both.
my brother, my brother met his wife off of an app.
In what year?
My brother's younger than me, so he met her. They're married. They have 2 kids together.
How long have they been married?
several years now.
Okay, so whatever.
But he met her off of an app.
Right, but whatever the experience on the app was then does not apply now.
That's what I'm saying. But when
Instagram today is not Instagram in 2015. I promise.
No, that's right.
Yeah,
So-
but the thing is, like, with me, like, when I came into the market of, like, being single, yeah, of course I didn't know where to go to meet people or where to start because it's like, I've been out of the game for so long.
Right.
So it was just like, you talk to your other friends who are single, and they were like, well, you know, try the dating app, see how it is.
What he's
We're gonna
getting at
get
is
to
that has
that. We're
nothing
gonna
to
get to
do
that.
with where the men
We're gonna-
you want would be. It's real simple.
Right, we're gonna
If
get
you
to that.
fish,
I just want to.
Whatever fish you're trying to catch,
because I don't want to give it away
do.
for. I want to see what her natural response is first, and then I'm gonna let you.
Oh
get
no,
that.
no, I gotta.
Oh, you all right? Go ahead. Where did you where would you go to source men?
Right now, like I said, I've been doing online like her because
Mhm.
like her, I was in 11-year relationship.
Okay.
So I've been out of the game. So right now, because of my lifestyle, I'm busy. I really have time. So I mostly go to online dating at the current moment. But before, it was socializing, going out, meeting people, networking, you know, anywhere. You can go to lounges, bowling, traveling, just walking down the street. You just never know. The possibilities endless.
Okay. So those aren't bad, but it depends on what type of men you're looking like. Most women say they want higher value men, and then there's different places to go to get them, whether it be cigar lounges, golf courses, networking events. I would say for everyone, I would say networking events are great for whatever field that it is that you are in. That's the most that you can actually find something like that where people are like in the same realm that you are. Those are the best places, in my opinion, to go there. But we're short on time, so we're gonna get us out of here. But I want y'all to make sure that everyone knows everything about you that you want them to. Definitely give out your social media handles, and
I didn't even tell you my name. I don't really be on social media like that.
you don't be on social media.
Not post, but like once a year. And
So what?
Yeah.
You might start now.
Nah.
no, it's
All right.
not your generation.
You sure? All right. Okay. Well, Ayindei, let them know.
Authentic Alphas, YouTube. So go over and subscribe, man. There's so much stuff over there. It'll take you forever to get through all of that, but it's jam packed with
Spell it for the people
with actionable advice, right? I don't give this weird ambiguous advice. It's like be confident and all this other slogany bullshit.
The non-real world.
Yeah, I give you step-by-step stuff that you can actually do and apply that's going to work because it's designed in a way that it can't not work. Yeah, and the advice to women is learn to look at men the way that the man you want sees himself. The reason why these women are failing is because they're trying to superimpose their definition of a man onto men, and that's why it never fits and it never works. Western society in particular, they have raised their women to look at men ass backwards. Starting in the house, the mother teaches them to look at the man as something that's dangerous, something that's going to hurt them, exploit them, cheat on them, abuse them, beat them, X, Y, and Z. And this is before they even start liking boys. Then as they become women, then that shifts to looking at men as all of those negative things that they could be, but also looking at them as this person that's supposed to come in and be a provider. This person is supposed to supply them with experiences, supply them with resources, pay their bills, X, Y, and Z, that only suits and serves the woman and dehumanizes the man. So their actual perception of him isn't even a fucking human. It's just this thing that gets up and goes to work every day to benefit me. So then when they meet said guy that they think checks all their boxes, the way they see him doesn't align with the way he sees himself. And it also is going to act out in the relationship now, because the way she's going to behave is based on her expectations of him and what he's supposed to bring in her life. And then he's going to have issues because she's not going to be bringing what he expects a woman to bring into his life based on how she sees him. So just to wrap it up real quick, I'll give you an example. Are these women going out here looking at a man that's supposed to solve their problems and be a provider and increase their status and give them the shit that they can post on social media and make other women jealous? Or are they looking at him as a man that's going to be a coach, a mentor, a leader, a husband, a father? Are they looking at him like that? Absolutely not. So now when the guy's trying to lead, they're not trying to follow. When the guy's being dominant, they're not being submissive. You see what I'm saying? Because they don't even see him like that, right? They have problems, And they see him as the guy that's going to come in to pay to solve those problems, rather than see him as the guy that's going to be correction, that's going to be structure, that's going to be mentoring and coaching, that's going to elevate her out of the problems by making her a better woman that A, wouldn't get into those fucking type of problems anymore, and B, a woman that knows how to act and behave in a way that's going to improve the quality of her life rather than create more problems that are going to be coming
But that
around.
kind of depends on the woman that you come across too, because not every woman needs a problem to be solved. Like me, I don't need a problem for a man to solve it. If I want a partner, it's because I just want you a part of my life.
Well, then we'd have to go back and forth debating what's considered a problem, because that's part of the point I'm making. We were saying earlier that a woman can gain a huge amount of favor and value in a man's life by providing needs he didn't even know he has. Well, guess what? As a man, I'm extremely valuable when I come into the relationship solving problems you didn't know you had. You didn't even know that was a problem, and I came and solved it. So that's what guys need to do also. The tip and the advice for guys now in the dating market is you can have huge advantage by simply figuring out how you can add something to her life that no other men have been able to add. And again, guess what? It's something she doesn't even know she needs. So you can't go in there and ask her, what's that thing I can do that no man's ever did? Because she won't even know what that fucking thing is, because no man's ever done it. So if you can come in and figure out how to add a value that's never been added before or isn't being added, you will instantly skyrocket up in her options. Because a lot of dudes are struggling with chicks because they haven't figured out how to be the better option. So now you're just sitting there competing with a bunch of guys you don't even know exist. And you don't even know what those other guys are bringing, what you need to do, what you shouldn't do. When she's not answering your call, you don't know what's going on. When she's flaking on dates, you're over there scratching your head asking stupid questions. When the answer is she chose to go with the better option. Regardless of what she told you 3, 4, 5 days ago, something better came up since then. So as a guy, you have to constantly figure out how to be the better option and eliminate all the other guys that are orbiting around her, right? And again, women can do this very easily. Smile, be more feminine, be more friendly, be more helpful, ask what can I do? Stop being so selfish, stop making it only about you. And trust me, the same thing will happen. The guy will start to put you higher in his priorities, because you're being more receptive and you're giving back more. And like you said, you're pouring into him more than any other women are. And because other women aren't pouring at all nowadays, they're not really pouring, it's real fucking easy to outpour the next chick nowadays, bro. And a lot of guys aren't adding value other than what women are belly aching for, which is buy me this, buy me that. I don't do Cheesecake Factory. You need to do this, you need to do that. That is not what I'm saying about being competitive. You get what I'm trying to say? Don't pay attention to what she's saying and what she's asking for. Figure out what's the thing that she would value that she's not even asking for.
Got it. Okay. If you've made it this far in the video and haven't subscribed yet, shame on you. If you haven't liked the video, please do. We definitely appreciate you and love you for it. We thank you for spending this time with us. You could have been anywhere else, but you're here with us. All right. Our guests were lovely today, and I hope this conversation will provide value in your life. And if so, share it with someone else who may also find value. And as always, stay hungry, my friends. Never thirsty.